Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to another Comics Cast Let It Out episode. And today we have a special treat for you. We have Mr. Jim O'Reilly. Want to welcome you. Jim, say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Yeah,
Camera's over here.
yeah, camera's there. Camera's there. Special Sunday. We are actually this is episode 13, lucky number 13.
Oh,
And I'm not superstitious in that. If anything, it's basically a good thing because we've had Jim previously on the artist roundtable before, and I was so impressed with his artwork and the things that he was doing that we had to have him back. And this time it's a one-on-one on Let It Out, where we get to feature him exclusively, get to see some additional artwork that we didn't show on the ART, as well as some insight to some new stuff that he's doing. And there's some other treats that are surprise things that I didn't even know that Jim was doing. He's a man of many talents, and I'm so happy that he's our guest and we can share that with our audience. Just to give you guys a heads up, at the below in the scrolling ticker, if you check it out there, these are ways you can get in touch with Jim if you're interested in maybe some commission work or want to drop by, say hello, see the awesome artwork. Always you can contact him. He also is a featured cover artist for a crowdfunding campaign that's going on right now, which is Mojo Risen, and we'll share that with you as well as the forthcoming Mojo Origins. I don't know, is that the official title?
Yes.
Okay,
so Mojo Risen Origins. Yes.
All right, so Mojo Origins will be a kind of like a prequel. It'll show the backstory of the main character Mojo and how he came to be. And I've been trying to like wrestle out some like details about that. But Jim has been very accommodating, but I've been like telling him, don't give in to Jerel pressure, because he's going to try and get all the spoilers out of you as much as possible.
I'm just going to spill the beans.
No problem. So anyway,
I'll be kicked out of the studio and the project will close.
No, yeah, we don't want that to happen. There's so much talent and so much storytelling that I'm so intrigued with Mojo and where this character is going. And like I said, you guys are in for a real treat. One other thing that I want to mention, my co-host Rick may join us. He is in another country. He's in Denmark, and hopefully he can pop in. So we'll see if that happens. One last thing too is Jim, just tell us a little bit about yourself before we go into like maybe showing some of your artwork. We are going to be doing live drawing today. So I encourage anybody who's watching, if you want to draw along with us, please feel free. Put in the comments field that you have some drawings, and we'll be happy to feature that maybe at the end of the show. Just send it to the general Comics Cast chat, and we'll look at it. And since I'm probably be manning the interview as well as the cams as well as the comment field, please bear with me. I'm going to try and get everybody's comments up there. So that being said, I'm going to hand the mic over to Mr. Jim O'Reilly. Just give us a little background in terms of like how you got into art, what got you into comics, how you found Third Empire, which is the studio that's putting out Mojo Rising. Just lead us from like the genesis all the way to where we are today.
Sure. Well, first of all, if everybody sees me looking to my right, it's because I have two screens going. So if I confuse you, sorry. I'm looking at the chat as well. So if I see a question, I can answer.
Yes, please do.
Well, let's see how I can start. I like long walks on the beach in the moonlight. Oh, wait, wrong interview. I basically fell out of my mom's womb with a pencil in my hand, and I've always been able to draw. I guess being able to look at something and copy it on, just visually, I've always been able to do that. I just love drawing. In school, I always took the art classes and always did well in the art classes. And, tried to break into comics. Fell in love with the first comic I ever purchased was actually was a Nova comic. That was the very first. And Jack of Hearts, which was
great character.
Great character. Limited 4 series. Fell in love with that, and then just got hooked on comics. And in the 90s, I did the whole break-in. Tried to break in. Got a lot of rejection letters and stuff like that. And the lines were like incredibly long. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. But started the family early in life. put the focus on, taking care of the kids, raising the family. And now that I'm older, I'm able to get back into the art. And I've been drawing now since probably 2015, 16, consistently, like, going to shows and tabling at shows, doing like New York Comic Con. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, I just want to say you beat me to it. So you went to New York Comic Con, and then we talked. You also went down to Baltimore. So you actually did the con scene as well. And this was already when you took a break, and then you came back into it in 2015, and now you're going back into the con scene and showing your artwork again, right?
Right. And I've done a lot of like local shows. So many shows. It's been fun. It's been great. Met a lot of people. A lot of fellow artists, saw all the hardworking artists, and really impressed with like what I saw, and intimidated. I mean, I don't really like and care for much of my art. Other people tend to like it. It's great, but for me, I usually
humble, so humble.
No, it's just I just hate it.
Okay.
But as I was starting out, I'd give a lot of art away for free, and my friends would always be like, "What are you doing?" Especially my good friend Ryan Brown, who's a comic book artist as well. He does a lot of covers, like he did Turtles cover for IDW, and a bunch of other stuff, a lot of stuff. And we used to do a lot of the shows together, and he would just like hammer, "What are you doing? Why are you giving that away? You're not charging enough for it." It's like, well,
Well, that is just a testament to your heart, in terms of the fans. I think that's what we talked about yesterday. Is that when we did our pre-interview, is that you have an appreciation as being just as big a fan as well as an artist. So what it's like to. I think
I spend more time like looking at other people's art than sitting and drawing. But and that's not to disparage Ryan at all. Ryan was trying to, from the business aspect, say, well, what are you doing? You're giving all this art away for free or for close to free or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did the con scene. That was fun. Got to see, I wasn't able to do it full time, so my income wasn't totally reliant on the art, and that really took a lot of the pressure off of me. But I saw a lot of the pressure that they put on other artists that do rely solely on like cons and their art, and just my heart goes out to these guys now in this pandemic and stuff, and I hope obviously everybody's doing really, really well. So for me, I'm doing the art part-time. I'm back to work full-time just so that the income is still flowing in and stuff. But I guess I'll go into a little bit how I got involved with Mojo.
That is Third Empire.
Third Empire Studios is a studio. It's a new studio, a newer studio, formed by Greg Harms, and it was going to be Roman Morales III. He had passed away, so Greg took up the mantle and continued the studio, and he has a lot of different projects going on, and he's planned out for the next, I think, like 2 or 3 years of projects and Kickstarters that the studio is going to put out. And it's funny, how the artists, people say like the artist circle is pretty small and you meet people, and it's true. I was involved with another studio who were nameless. That didn't work out. But Raj Mahan, Mahan. I keep saying Mahan, it's Mahan. Who is the creator of Mojo. We were both involved with this other thing, and that didn't work out. And Raj and I were discussing, characters and stuff, and he told me about Mojo, and he showed me a few images, and I instantly fell in love with the character. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And then we just started hammering stuff together. We spent time like talking about, the backstory, and he gave me like creative freedom to create, and do stuff with the character. And we just came to the agreement I would do the origin story for him. Even though Mojo was already in the current Kickstarter was already in the works and already in the process. And he added some of the elements in, so they went in and changed some of the things, like giving him a metal arm, well, it's not really metal, but
but you're not going to give it away in terms of why.
I'm not going to give it away how he gets the
even
arm,
though I got a little bit of
the armor, I should say. How he gets that, you know.
I know, but my lips are sealed. I'm not going to talk about that.
But
it
just flowed. Yeah, it just flowed, and it was such a good connection. I love the character, and I want to work on it like 24/7, but obviously I got to work and can't, so it's like part-time. So we put the origin story out for early next year. I want to do a 48-page hardcover book, and my recent thought was to break it down into smaller books, but I'm thinking I'm just going to stick with the original plan and go with a large. I like hardcover books. Love them, versus the floppies. That's just me. It's just my preference. And that, I guess I developed that over time. I used to love floppies. I used to collect, but now I like the hard covers.
Yeah, because sometimes it's more convenient because you can put it on a bookshelf versus putting it in a bag in a box, and then you have to find the box and whatever. But that's the good thing about. I think there's something that's still really good about having a traditional copy, whether it's a floppy or a hardcover. But I think it's also nice to have the convenience of a digital. If you can have both, that way you can put it in a bag and board and keep it nice and minty fresh, and have the trade paperback if you want to put it on your bookshelf, but then have the digital copy where you can just enjoy it right there on the spot, like on your desktop, your laptop, or your mobile device. But that's kind of things is that I think that the evolution of independent comics has really, I guess, come of age, and it's nice that you were able to meet is it Raj? Raj, and be able to have that creative synergy, so that creative content. I mean, Mojo. I mean,
it's actually like a third person too, because Manuel Soto, who is the artist for the Mojo Risen first book that's out now. He also had input in it, so we were all three of us were just and Greg Harms was also in on that. I don't want to say bad company, but that it just didn't work out. And so it all melded together, and Greg has inked a lot of. Inked some of my stuff, and I love his inks, and I'm taking the inks on this one only because I want to do like a complete book myself. I want to know what that's like, and I always find that I have to take my pencils almost to the inking stage anyway. So for me to just send them out to someone and say, "Oh, okay, go ahead and do that," I just want to take the extra step. You know what I mean? I know where I'm going. I don't have to worry about questions and stuff like that. But we do have a couple guest inkers that are going to ink the cover. Jimmy Reyes, who has inked Ric Bülow. Phenomenal inker. He actually
an artist in himself. He's a great artist.
Oh too. Yeah. He's got his own company too. Page One Comics. He's putting out Dragon Rage. You look out for that. That's looks like a fantastic book. He's doing the art in that, and he's collaborating with the storyline. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the writer, but he also inked. I'll put this up on my screen if you like. He inked this. Yeah. This is the variant cover for the first book.
Yes, so and this is you beat me to it. I actually, it's probably better that you can. I was going to pull up some of your art, but while you're here, let's go ahead and because if you
I figure since I'm talking about Jimmy inked this cover, which is the variant cover for the first book that's on the Kickstarter now, and then just by I don't want to say luck, because I guess it's luck. Our colorist Sigmund Torre, who actually colored the comic book for the Black Eyed Peas for Marvel, and I can't think of the name of that comic off the top of my head. He told me, and he's done other stuff. He asked if he could color one of my pieces. I'm like, well, sure, here, do this, and he just nailed it.
It is phenomenal.
He nailed it.
Right, between your art, the crisp inks, and then we have this. I don't know. It's almost like an atmospheric coloring. I mean, you can get a sense of just. It's so rich, and those glowing eyes, those piercing glowing eyes, and you have like that kind of hazy background. It really does put you like in that. I'm assuming it takes place like in Louisiana, like the bayou.
Yes.
So it just has that whole. I don't know. It's just like I said. It creates if you wanted to come up with a narrative without any words, you just by looking at this picture. I mean, it makes you want to like, what exactly is this character about? And then of course you just get a sense of just strength. You have that alligator right there behind him. So here we have some additional art here. I'm gonna let you I'm just gonna turn it over to you. Go ahead and tell
Well,
me, because I was going to do that. I was going to let you. I was going to let you tell a little bit about yourself and then go into your art. But go ahead, and you have the art right here. Let's go ahead and delve into it.
Well, for me, it's kind of like boring. People are your comment section is just going to drop off if I start talking about myself.
No,
They're just going to start falling asleep.
This is
The
all
pillows
about
are going to break out. But I'm fortunate too is that I'm in contact with Kevin Conrad, who inked Spawn. He inked, I think, like I want to say in the 40s, number 40s, like he was inking some of Spawn. He's going to be inking this cover as well as Jimmy. So I'm going to have two variant covers. One will be inked by Jimmy and one will be inked by Kevin, which is really cool.
So this is a little different. It's like the same pencils, but different.
Yes,
different
I'll have two different inkers, and I'll have two variant covers. One will be, I don't know if I'll ink it myself. Like I started doing it just for practice because I always just start in just to warm up. So like, I'll ink this, but it'll probably be the main cover will definitely be Jimmy Reyes, and then I'll have a variant cover with Kevin Conrad's stuff. And
that'll be a neat thing because you usually see different artists, not different inkers. So
well, to me, it's like anything that improves my crappy lines. sorry, I don't mean to swear, but anything that can improve my lines, hey, I'm all for it. So Mojo's the origin book's coming along. The Kickstarter for the first book reached its goal, which is great. So I'm really happy for the team that worked on that book. And we're talking about colors. The color scheme in the first book is kind of like it's they wanted it kind of, I want to say the word trippy in a sense.
Well, it does
because it's like magical and stuff.
Yeah.
And Sigmund just matched, like in his own style, he matched that kind of color scheme, and he's doing it consistently throughout the origins, like the pages that I'm giving him. He's just like nailing them. He's nailing them. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, you have a great team behind you. So if I don't know if I have a PDF the art that you sent me, but if you want to go ahead and
I can go through, like I have some tabs open.
Let's
go through the origins if you want to do that, or wait.
No, before we go to origins, because now we've gotten a hint of Mojo,
Sure.
And we still have the live art segment that we're going to go into. Let's delve into some of your fan arts and some of your.
My fan art, sure. Yeah. I have this up here, and I can go through. These are like some warm-ups. I call them warm-up sketches, but they end up taking obviously longer than a warm-up sketch.
That's your idea of a warm-up? That's like finished art.
Mobius piece here. This was a Thundercats. I tend to go on. Well, I don't tend to. When I'm invited, I go on to Drawn and Quartered, which is Mike S. Miller's kind of like art contest show that's on YouTube. Everybody should check that out. It's I think it happens every Tuesday night now. It used to be Wednesdays. I think it's Tuesday nights. And occasionally they need an artist that they'll ask me to jump on, and it's a great group of guys and gals. That go on there, and talented, incredibly talented. So I'm always like, well, this is going to be great.
It's great. It's great creative competition,
It is. It's
I just popped up this comment here from Justin Acosta, and he just basically said, "Mind zooming in?" Because
sure. Which one? I don't know if I could actually. I can't zoom in on these because I have them. I can open an individual one and zoom in on it. So if he tells me which one, I can definitely.
I'll wait for him to do that, but just go ahead and let's just keep on going through this.
So these two are Drawn and Quartered. This is a Spock one I did with the Tribbles.
Great likeness. You captured Leonard Nimoy perfectly. And me, I grew up. I'm actually a classic Trekkie guy because my dad loved the William Shatner Trek, and so I had the Betamax collection. That shows you how old I am and how I don't even think we have a Betamax anymore. But I am familiar with the Tribbles. I'm a fan of all the red shirts who always get killed.
Of course.
And of course William Shatner martial arts style. It's always great. Okay, so let's see.
So I did this one, and likenesses actually, I find likenesses are easier for me than doing comics. If you can figure that one out. Yes. Like for me to look at a picture and draw it, it's easier for me to have to create it from my mind. So like I've always been able to do likenesses, and it's one of the reasons why I think I got like hired from Topps because you have to do a lot of likenesses for Topps because they only do like movies like Star Wars and Stranger Things and stuff like that. So you have to be able to somewhat do a likeness. I'm not great at it, but I find it easier than doing it like.
Yeah, that's one thing too, is that we didn't mention that you are, in terms of like your expertise, in terms of your portfolio, you work for quit it, man. You're awesome. I love your artwork. But you work for Topps as well as Upper Deck. You've done, and hopefully I have them queued. But if you have the cards that you sent me, well, actually, let's just keep on going through these, and then we'll.
I don't have the cards queued, but you can most certainly show.
We'll just go through these, and then I'll show some of the cards.
This was a Venom, another drawn and quartered, kind of breaking through the spider web. Coming out at you. That was fun. This is from Matt Weldon's. This was drawn and quartered. The theme was Matt Weldon, who's a fantastic artist. I mean, please check out Matt Weldon's stuff. He's an amazing artist.
Crazy good.
He draws with a ballpoint pen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which sickens me because he's so good at it. But he's just an amazing art, and he can whip stuff up, and his raw form is so incredible.
His gestures,
his gestures, and he do it so quick. I'm like, it takes me forever. I'm like, how the heck does this guy do it? Amazing.
Your gestures,
so this is from Punchline.
Your gestures look great. Great too. So.
This is from Punchline. That's his comic.
Yes.
And then this is another drawn and quartered. It was Calvin and Hobbes was the theme. So I did him as Thor, and they wanted to do it like do something with it. So I did Thor and Loki. The theme. And then a Spider-Man and Black Cat.
Yeah.
An unfinished Thor and Silver Surfer.
That looks great too.
And I just didn't finish that one. And Bloodshot, which was a theme, which is horrible. I can't stand the angle on that. This is Matt Weldon's Batman, and he allowed me to ink it and color it.
So this shows your talents as well as in terms of inking other people's work and coloring other people's work.
These are my digital inks and my digital colors.
Phenomenal work.
This is Brian Shear's, another fantastic artist, worked on G.I. Joe, inked G.I. Joe and Transformers. He has a comic called Gunship Thunder Punch, which is fantastic, so people should check that out. Fantastic work, and I just did a head of him, which is a warm-up sketch. Cyber Frog, warm-up sketch, controversial, so we'll move right along. Cyber Frog. Look at the artwork. Fantastic.
I mean, look at the texturing and that background with that.
All the bees.
Yeah, it's. I mean, art for what it is. We appreciate it for the art. That's what we got to look at. I mean,
absolutely.
And those inking, the ink is so rich. Look at those. I mean, the positive, negative space that you created there with those the blacks there off on the right.
I was trying to get the loop, the shape, the C shape to kind of come around more so that would bring focus back to Cyber Frog. But that didn't work out too
well. And look at this comment here. I don't know if you've watched some of our previous ARTs or Let It Outs. Justin Acosta is who's been a guest on our show. His lead artist has been on our show as well, Marius. And he has an independent comment called Borbane. And look at this. He's saying he loves your artwork. He wants a variant cover for Borbane. So well, you know what? I'm glad this is the meeting of minds, meeting of creative, independent creators. I will put you in touch with Jim, and we'll get to.
I appreciate that, Justin. I just understand I have two commissions in front of you that have taken me a long time, and I'm very slow. Because I only do it part-time, and I'm
it's so worth
my
it.
time. So
worth
as long as you're patient, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Patience is key, and I have wonderful repeat customers that are very, very patient with me. As a matter of fact, I have two commissions that are way overdue, and as soon as I can, I'm gonna work on those. But it's also that I need to be in the mood to work on those things, because if I'm not in that right frame of mind, I don't want to touch it. Right. Because I know it won't come out the way I want to give it to them. Yeah. So, but as long as you're patient, I don't mind. And thank you, Justin, for the interest.
He said he's willing to wait for that.
It is.
He says he doesn't have it. Okay.
I don't remember who this chick is. I think it's a video game.
Yeah, I think it's Morrigan from Darkstalker, Capcom.
I think so. I like pulled off a reference. It was again a drawn and quartered. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
So drawn and quartered, they give you like a subject like on the spot.
Yes.
You have to draw it like.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. And then you have like pretty much however long it takes Mike Miller to start the show to look for references.
I was gonna say this is like something you drew live. I am struggling with getting pencils down, and here you showed me some of your warm-ups. They have like they're colored. I mean, they're rendered, they're inked, they're colored, and
well, some of the drawn and quartered, like I'll finish up after the show. Like I'll do like a majority of it, and then I'll finish up and add like effects and stuff afterwards. So it's not everything always gets in that like. That I think it's like an hour block, but those guys are incredible. Those guys like are doing live drawings and like they're pencil and inking, and I'm like, oh, you make me sick.
It's goals.
No, but they're fantastic.
Right.
They're fantastic.
This is great too. Like I love this texturing in this too. This which character?
These are from Creative Cornerstone Studios. Jesse Hegan, I believe his name is. He's been trying to get me to join their studio for like ever. He pops in. He's a great guy. Pops in, and it's not that I don't want to join. It's just that I don't want to like not be able to deliver for him what he wants. So, you know, I don't say I put him off, but I'm just like I'd like to. It's time. It's like
you need like.
But he has a lot of original characters, and they do a lot of original great books. So. And he hosts a bunch of different artists. Creative Cornerstone, if people have a chance to look them up, they do like commission stuff. They try to get work for the artists and stuff. So there's no charge to it. It's totally free. It's just I don't want to leave them with like a blank. Canvas, well, you know what I mean?
Goes to show everybody wants you. They want you to be part of their studio. So
I don't want to say everybody, but that's not true. Trust me, they don't want me.
Well, this is good stuff. I mean, and I guess this is another. I think this is from another video game. Yes.
And this was drawn and quartered. And this is probably one piece that I actually like. So you've heard it here first. This is actually a piece of artwork of mine that I actually like. For some reason. Yeah. I don't know if it's the composition of it, just the blank.
She's a beautiful character. She's a dark elf.
Dark elf. Yes.
I forgot Sylvanus.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes, it's one of those things I had to look up reference to. I'm not a video game player, unless you count Halo back in the day. But
well, it's only like the video game that a lot of people will say. But you know, that's good. But I love this composition too, because you have hair, especially when you don't have to go into every individual strand of hair. You know, you captured that it's flowing, and then you have that negative. You have that graphic, almost like a graphic design element that's behind it. Just beautiful work, and the ink. This is one thing that this is for me. I can't ink worth crap, and when I look at Jerel, look how. I mean, if unfortunately, we're probably not going to zoom because it's the nature of this is, but you can just see even at this zoom at this angle, as zoomed out as we are, you can see how hair has to flow, and you're doing it in single strokes. I mean,
I gotta say this is digital, so the inking for me is digital. Inking traditionally, I do it, and I just don't like to do it. I'm a very sketchy artist, and what I mean by that is I tend to sculpt down to my picture. Like I start with a mask and I just kind of like sculpt down, so my lines are very, very loose. So for me to control my hand, it's horrible when I get to pen and ink traditionally. So with Clip Studio Paint, I just set the stability very, very high. So it keeps the lines kind of smooth and flowing. So
well, you're going to say it's software enhanced, but I'm just going to say that you did this. It takes a lot of skill to do this, and I'm so impressed with just. I mean, we have those really nice curves as well as those really sharp angles, and you really killed that piece. So
well, when I was doing this, my idea was that I would want a colorist to finish this and make it look nice. So I tried to leave a lot of like black areas out and heavy line weights out. Just like in certain areas, I put like some line weight, but I wanted this to be a piece where if I handed it to a colorist, their work could shine through.
Yeah, great. Well, look at this bareness that's right here. Oh man, love all the fan art here that you're showing here. So that's a
I don't
killer.
know if this was a drawn and quartered or not. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been. Not sure. And then this is, I was doing a warm-up sketch. This is Mojo. This is actually the character
Yes.
Van Zant, and I did it in a Disney style. I was playing with different styles. Because when Raj and I were first talking about the book, we were talking about, well, he wanted me to try to do it in a Mike Magnolia style, which I'll show you 2 examples that I gave him. And I'm no Mike Magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so
everybody, you
so
know.
I'm like playing around. At the time, I was playing around with like the Disney style and like what would it look like in that, and you know what would look like in Magnolia style. And then I finally just said, you know what, I'm just going to make it. It's heavy. The story's gonna be heavier on the blacks, and the inks, but it's. I wanted to not. I still want to have like detail in it. You know what I mean? So without overkilling a piece. So I'm always trying to leave like a negative space somewhere on the page, so that it doesn't really like overkill.
And just a little bit of a shout out here. We were talking about, this is actually based, the character there at the top, which is, we're going to draw a little later on. He's known as Chariot. And so we'll probably, for those of us who are, or those of you who are watching, this is the first character that we're going to be live drawing. It's the another character from the Mojo Origins story that has yet to be. So we're getting to, this is like a first. People are getting to see this, but it's actually based on a real person. You want to let us know who that person is?
Yes, yeah, Pop Van Zant. Pops is great. Pops is a fan promoter for indie comics, and this guy goes up, above, and beyond, like yourself, to promote indie comics, to promote artists. He's very positive. He's passionate, you know, and that's sorely lacking in today's world.
Well,
and
I mean, he's a force. He's a force to be reckoned with, you know.
He is. He's passionate. So, I think Raj and I both decided we would put him in the book. I think actually Raj said, "Hey, you've got to do Pops somewhere in the book." I said, "Okay." I said, so I created this character. It's a distant cousin of Pops from the Mojo. So he's still related, but he's a distant and his name is Marlo Van Zant. And he is a driver for a young lady who will not be named at this point. And he ends up being transformed into kind of a wicked character based off of a tarot card. So, I won't kill it. I won't kill it.
Well, I would like you to actually, what information you can talk about when we get to the live drawing part. I would like you to share a little bit of it then, because we want to give a little context to when we start drawing it. So go ahead and let's go ahead and go through a few of these, and then we're gonna start our first live drawing as well. So go ahead. I won't rush you, but just go ahead and go through these. And
these were just I think this was a drawn and quartered piece. This was a dragon piece I was working while I was on Jimmy Reyes' live stream.
His IP that
is it is and it isn't, because like at the time it was like brand new, so I didn't know too much about it.
Right.
So I was just kind of like drawing a dragon and kind of coming off one of his pieces, but it was hard to see. So, but I have another one I'll show, which is featured in his preview book.
Oh, and I do know this one.
Yes.
This is
Elysian Fields.
Yes,
Mike
from
Odin's
Mike Odin. Yep.
Well,
you talk about it. Great. Yeah.
Yeah, he asked me to. I don't know if he asked me or I just offered to do a piece. I forget. What doesn't matter. So I did the piece for him so he could use it as a print to give away with. Lost my earpiece, with copies of his book.
Yeah.
So he did that, and you know, he allowed me to draw his character.
I love the energy in this, and I think I like to think. I mean, I think Mike would probably agree with it, Mike Odin, that you doing this variant cover definitely helped successfully fund his campaign. He's about ready. I think he just launched his second campaign for issue number 2. But yeah, I actually when I first talked to Mike, I think it might have been on the same ART show that you were on.
Yeah, I think so.
And I saw this before I saw any of the other things, and immediately, taken aback in terms of just how rich the illustration is. Very energetic, and now I've gotten to know Mike pretty well and get to know you as well. And
yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
Yeah.
Again, very passionate about what he does, and very passionate about his story. And he had given me some sample artwork that he had, like images that he had wanted like a Conan cover. He wanted like that kind of energy to it, and
yeah.
I don't think I did it justice, but he loved it, so that's all that matters.
I have to say I love it too. I have to see that Conan cover, but I think this is stand on its own right here. So we have a Batman.
Batman, just a warm up sketch.
That's warm up.
Yeah.
Okay. I
say warm up, but like, you know, it goes on, and like it's until I say, okay, I'm ready to actually try to do something.
Yeah.
To work. And this is the.
I have seen this. This is from Jimmy Reyes' IP. Isn't it?
Yes, Dragon Rage.
And that's Nuri.
Nuri. Yep, Nuri. And there's a Fenifox, and I can't. Jax, I think is the name.
Yep, Jack.
And then I threw in a dragon in the back. I don't know, and I gave her a flaming sword. The original piece has her holding up an orc's head. But Jimmy's like, could you mind? Would you mind editing that? You know, I'm like, sure, no problem. It was because I think there's no real orc side to his thing.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, so I just, you know, to me, I was like, this would be a mountain orc story, and she's got the king's head. My original design was to have like orcs coming up the mountain after her, but it just got too cluttered.
Still looks great.
But that was that piece. This I didn't finish, but I definitely have to come back and do something with this.
Dark Side? Is that
Dark Side? Yeah. I just want to do something. It's just a rough sketch. Hulk piece that I hate. I absolutely hate this, but Greg Harms inked it. Actually made it look better. I don't have that though. I just hate that Hulk piece. These are just some studies, you know, body studies.
Right.
You know, and I think it's important from time to time to just stop and do that.
Absolutely. I think that's something that a foundation that every artist should definitely practice.
Absolutely. And then this is a Psylocke piece. Just some head studies, and the last drawn and quartered that I did, which is Venom and
Venom Mall. Yeah,
Venom Mall, which I came up hard, but I just rushed that one. And then this one I can't really discuss.
Okay.
So that's a project that I will hopefully be working on very soon, and in between Mojo things. But
yeah, let's go back to that last Mojo Disney style.
Sure.
That way, it'll give people context. Now, so the first character that we're gonna do through this live drawing session, and again, like I said, I encourage anybody who's watching, if they want to draw along with us, they're welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
And
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and that way we can feature you at the end. And if you want to actually later on, we'll open up the chat or the session actually. And if you want to come in here and ask a question to Jim, you're welcome to as well. But anyway, and also I just got a little poke here from Joe Tolliver, who's my partner in crime at Comics Cast, saying that please check out our YouTube channel. Then it's Indie Comics Cast. So here we're going to go into our first live drawing. So I'm going to call up my drawing screen, and since one of the things that it's actually better that Jim is actually going to be doing in digital, because we're going to isolate his to the large screen that we see here in the center, and mine will be that itty bitty screen there at the bottom. But we're gonna draw a chariot, right? That's
yes,
and it's Marlo Van Sant, who's he's a distant relative of Pop's, of comics related madness fame, and we're going to be doing that. And so while I get my little sketch card ready to go with this, go ahead and just call up yours and just talk a little bit about who Marlo is, and what I'm actually kind of cool, what I was talking to you about in terms of this character. We see him in this drawing as that's him as a human before he actually transforms. And I'm going to do the transformed version. But you can tell us what that transformed version looks like. I don't know if you want to pull that up, but you told me what he is basically, and it was just so fitting in terms of how you described him. But go ahead. I'm going to let you tell us about him.
Sure. He is, like I said, he is the driver for a young lady in the story. And he gets transformed at the end of the book into a character that will be called Chariot, based on a tarot card, because this particular character who transforms him uses tarot cards to use the magic from the tarot card to create her allies, so to speak. And she creates the Chariot. And what he does is he uses his reins from the horse reins. They become kind of think of like a Ghost Rider.
Yes, that's what I caught on to.
His face kind of becomes that skeleton, but he still has the long flaming hair. And then he has a big top hat. The top hat's on fire on the top. Wears a long black driver's coat, like you see in here. So he's kind of all in black. And then his reins become weapons that he uses to kind of like tear the soul out of a person, throw them in the chariot, and then send them to quote unquote hell. But it's not really hell, so I don't want to go too much into that. But anyway, so that's his role. Like he stole this person's driver, but he's like an evil driver, and he also has these abilities to do that. So you could do your take on him.
I will.
Anybody who's out there wants to do their take on him. He's tall and thin, just like Pops. I don't know how tall Pops is, but he could be short and thin. But he's thin, tall and thin. So think of that kind of a lanky type character,
right?
And then just have fun with it.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're gonna start doing our drawing session, and anybody is welcome to draw along with us. And if you feel so inclined, we'll put it in the general chat area on our Facebook page, and I'll check it out and see if I can pull down that art and share it with everybody. Sure. But yeah, we'll spend maybe let's get a good. I have no doubt you'll be able to kill this in like amount of time. But let's do like 15 minutes. It's 15.
Oh my god.
Well, for me, it's like
I'll draw like the head.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Just do that because I also want to let you know is that you don't have to like completely finish it. I want to give you the opportunities. Like we want to give our audience just a flavor for in terms of like how the gym drawing process, and then at the end maybe by like middle of next week, if you want to polish it up a little bit, we'll feature it on our page as well as our Instagram. But please do that.
Sure.
And hey,
you want me to talk my process as I go along, or
you're welcome to do that. We just want to, like I said, we just want to get into the mind of Jim as he draws. If you're welcome to do that.
I'm going to ask you what your process is. Where do you start?
Well, you can we can do that. You can ask me questions as well. But before we get that, Pops just wanted to like chime in here. He said Pops is 5'8", 160 pounds, LOL. So we got a little bit of insight in terms of what Marlowe's weight and.
But when he transforms, you got to figure some of that is burning off.
It's that's a good one. Okay, so let's start drawing. So go ahead and I see you got your canvas up, and I guess you went ahead and threw down the gauntlet and told me a little bit of questions too in terms of what I do. Which is I never have really been asked questions by my guests. But in terms of what I do is I'm still as green as it can be in terms of like the whole comic art scene. Been drawing for a long time, but never in a refined or finished state. So I'm a notorious scribbler. My style is it's wonky. So that's what I'm going to call it, the wonky style. But I'm learning from you guys. I'm seeing all this great art from all these independent creators and seeing what they can do in the time that they have, and especially in this as guests on Let It Out, I get to see them just do phenomenal pieces in such a short amount of time, and it's definitely made me put things in perspective and have goals in terms of getting better and reaching the Jim O'Reilly level.
Geez, that's a horrible level. You don't want to
but I like I'm a scribbler myself, so I usually do like a loose outline and then just see what kind of happy accidents happen along the way. And just that's the way that I kind of approach it. But but in terms of what you do, what do you start with?
Well, I think about like if I'm doing whether it's first of all if it's an illustration versus an actual comic page are two different things.
Yes.
So for an illustration, I tend to think about what is the character doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to convey in this single image? And that's a challenge. You never want to do like a boring straight on shot.
Mm-hmm.
Always make the angle different. Even if it is straight on, make the angle like from the bottom, like a worm's eye view versus,
yes, I am.
Worm's eye tends to like make the character larger, so I'll tend to do that. But I think about the composition first. Like, what are they doing? What am I having this character do? And then I think quickly about. I know you're probably familiar with the rule of thirds.
Yes.
Okay, where you break the page down into thirds, and you want your most where you want the viewer's eye to be on that page.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you kind of try to put your focal points is in those third points, where if I were to divide this into thirds, where the images fall in those cross points in the third points.
Right.
And it probably makes no sense to anybody.
No, it makes complete sense. And see, this is the the insight I think that a lot of our guests would like to hear is seeing that you're using classical. I mean, we think of it's subconscious. When you see bad art, it's just bad, or you recognize it as being bad. You don't, and maybe to the layperson, they don't understand why it's bad. But for artists that really are studying, the greats, and that can be like interpreting like Leonardo to comic book art, or Da Vinci to comic art. The same rules apply in terms of like being able to understand what makes a great composition. And I think you're just basically going down this whole line. That's what you
and
think about.
Like you said, it is subconscious most of the time. Like you happen to notice, oh, okay, what's wrong with this? And then when you move it to the third, you're like, okay, that's wrong. Or, oh, why is this right? Mm-hmm. It's in the right spot. So, once I have the basic like idea down, then it's just creating the forms first, and then doing after doing the forms, it becomes, okay, light and shadow. Where do I want the light to hit? And then it's like going in and refining and cutting out. And that's where I say it's like sculpting.
That is not, you said it, you reminded me. At the end, we're going to show another talent that Jim has.
No, this isn't a talent. This is all experimental.
and I actually just gazed down below. My co-host Rick is just popped in. I'm going to bring him in here so that maybe he can add to the fun narrative that we can weave here. So hold on one second. Let me get him into the stream.
Yeah, no worries.
Rick,
hi guys.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
I am sorry for showing up late. I had an incident at the hospital with some family member, and I raced back as fast as I could.
Do you need to take care of your family?
No, I did. Don't worry, I did.
Okay, well,
so it's all good now. I'm sorry I didn't write first, but
don't apologize. Don't apologize.
Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Let's continue.
Okay,
it's looking good so far.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Rick will handle some of the chats that are coming there, and I did give Rick a link to your webpage, so he's familiar with your artwork. And
yeah. I've seen him. I've seen Jim's art before actually as well. I do believe I've seen his pretty sure I've seen his Walking Dead stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's I haven't even seen your Walking Dead stuff, so that's pretty cool. It's like, but what I would like to do is Rick will definitely take care of the chats. Hopefully, we'll get some in there, and we'll get maybe some arts, some fan art that'll draw along with us. But
yes, and questions by all means, guys. Ask your questions to Jim.
Sure.
And another thing that we want to be able to do is that I kind of hinted about it, but Rick remind me to showcase or get Jim to showcase some of his other talents that go beyond just drawing digitally and traditionally. He has another hidden talent that he shared with me when we did our pre-interview. So just remind me to say that at the end before we talk. And also, since Rick is here, we're going to do one of our another drawing challenges that Rick has come up with. So we're going to keep on going with this, but now that Rick's here, that's going to be another hint in terms of what we're going to do live drawing. So,
and this is going to be a stick figure when I'm done.
Man, it's looking good so far.
It's going to be a giant stick figure.
And as always, Jerel is just speeding up.
I was going really slow, and like I don't have Rick to tell me otherwise. I can keep on drawing slow the whole time, and then I saw you appear in the bottom corner, and I was like, oh no, Rick's back. So I'm gonna have to step it up in my speed again. So
yeah, drawing fast for me doesn't work.
Well, I was looking at you showed me those drawn in quarter pieces, which are drawn live, and I was just so impressed with how polished those looked. So I don't think you're going to have a problem whatsoever in terms of getting this version of the chariot, the transformed chariot guy. And let's I know that you mentioned he's the driver for this unknown character that you can't really go into. The name Chariot, obviously he's the driver, is sure. It has such a strong name to it. I mean, is that something that you just came up on the fly, or just something that
it's part of the story in terms of there's a young woman seeking some spiritual advice, so to speak, and she needed to be taken to this mansion, and I had already had a driver, but not, it wasn't a major role or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
And when Greg had said, "Oh, we need to put
Pops
in somewhere in there. Do you think you can?" And I said, "Okay."
Uh-huh.
So I took, a character that was relatively minor and said, "Okay, well, let's do something with him." And in the context of the story, it won't happen until the very end of the story, and you won't see too much of his powers in this book. But we plan on continuing Mojo further, so I think he will play more of a role.
We also got a message here from Pops Van Sant.
Yes.
Asking that Jim, you need to show the gated cover for the active Kickstarter at some point.
Sure. I did that in the beginning of the show, but I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, we'll definitely plug the actual Kickstarter that's going on. But yes, any exclusive art that maybe isn't even shown on the Kickstarter page, feel free to we'll isolate it and showcase it.
Yeah, I don't have too much from the Kickstarter itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I didn't do the art in that book. Right. I just did the variant cover for that.
Yes.
But I can show some other art from the Origins story. So
okay, yeah.
We never say no to exclusives.
Absolutely, more than happy to.
Okay, so Rick, I'm just gonna give you a heads up. We started around 1:45 and it's 1:56, and I said 15 minutes, so we have about 4 minutes to go.
What? I'll give you know what? I came in and disrupted everything, so let's give you another 10 minutes.
10 seconds. Another 10 seconds.
I heard 10 seconds too. I go,
another 10 minutes. I came in here and erupted everything, so that's my fault.
Okay, so we'll go with at 2:05. That's when we'll wrap up this particular live drawing.
I got to see what you're doing there.
No, don't look.
That's awesome.
Look, I'm not. I look at yours. I'm gonna
This is a trap.
It's a trap. Yeah. It's funny. I on Saturdays I have a family dinner night and family dinner and movie night with my little sister and her daughters, and it's a treat. I'm introducing all of them to geekdom, of course, and so we're going through all the Star Wars movies. And yesterday we watched A New Hope, and you mentioned it's a trap. It's I can't wait till Return of the Jedi. But it's so funny that I watched that movie, and we talk about our influences and things like that. And for me, Star Wars obviously was a big deal. But yeah, but it's just one of those things that movie has not. I mean, it definitely has a look to it that makes you think, oh, it's definitely from the 70s or whatever, but it aged pretty well. I mean, maybe that's me being a geek and just saying, oh, it's so awesome still. But I still appreciate it. I still think it's a good movie, and the definitely better than the sequel trilogy that we got in the last 5 years or whatever. But was Star Wars a big deal to you? Were you influenced by Star Wars?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It is the first movie that I actually have memories of going to a movie theater that is no longer around in my hometown with my mother, who took me to see it. And every Christmas had some type of, I want a Star Wars toy. Or,
yeah, I know.
So it definitely was an influence in terms of videos.
You've also worked on You also worked on Star Wars, am I right?
That's we're going to show a little later on too.
And I was so happy to be able to do that. That the sketch cards for Topps, and I've done a bunch of Star Wars, including the newer movies, the older movies, kind of tributes to both. There was a black and white set that was you could do from any of the Star Wars movies you could draw from. So it was nice to be able to say, hey, I worked on, even if it's just a sketch card,
Well, it's official. That's too. It's official merchandise, official cards. And one thing, man, I wish that we had shown it before, but just, when we're going to show a little bit more of your art near the end of the show, you did it was a linked cards. They were like a puzzle. Yep. And not only were they linked together in terms of their artwork, and maybe Rick, if you want to go to his webpage that I sent you, maybe you can call it up.
I'm already
Oh,
there.
Look, Rick is on top of it. There's a in the Star Wars card section. There's it's a linked. It's like 9 cards. They're 9 up, but they're not just illustrated. They're wood burned.
And actually, that's only part of the puzzle. There's more of the puzzle which isn't there in that picture. What I did was I did Yoda and the Emperor at the very top, and then I did all the Sith, like the major Sith, and then I did the Jedi below them, and then I did what I called the Ladies of Hope, which were all the female lead type characters. So whichever ones I could think of at the time, but it was an honor to be able to do that.
I may be wrong here, but
that's it. Yep, that's correct. That's it. Yep.
That's only 1/3 of the of it, though, right? You mentioned there was three different ones, but
they're all individual cards that will stand on their own, and that was important to me. Like, I didn't want just a hand in one card. I didn't want like an ear in one card. So I tried to make it so that each one would stand on their own. Individually for the collectors, and it was great because I got to wood burn them, and I'd never thought there were even wood sketch cards. And when they offered, I was like, okay, great, can I wood burn these? And they were like, yeah, we had one other artist do it. I forget who that artist was, many years ago, because it's like a repeat set for them, Masterworks.
Right.
They do it like each year.
So have you ever done wood burning art before? Was that just something that
I had done a couple of wood burn pieces, and I love doing wood burn pieces. If anybody goes to my Facebook page, I actually did a Black Panther with no pencils, directly wood burn.
Oh wow!
So
there's a drive to go check out.
Just as a challenge. It was a challenge for me. So
go check out his page so you can see more wood burning art. That's pretty amazing.
And then I have an unfinished, which I can show you here. This is unfinished, but it's a Walking Dead giant wood burn piece. If you can put the camera on.
Yeah, that's wood burning?
This is all wood burning.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to have, like, when I'm eventually finished with it, some year, it'll have all the major characters from season 8, I think, 8 and 9. So
amazing.
You see those are the drawings in the back, and then the guys up front are all with the zombies.
I tell you, our audience is getting a treat today to seeing all sorts of just the versatility of Jim's talents. Wood burning.
Yes, it's fun. It's actually relaxing, but let me tell you, it is a challenge because once you lay it down, there's no erasing.
No erasing.
There's slight manipulation, but no erasing.
That's where you just put extra shadows, right?
Yeah.
You burn more shadows. And for me, that's like what I do when I just start sketching even darker, and that's my solution for fixing some of those areas. So.
You know what? That is completely exactly what I do.
Okay, so I'm on the right track.
When I figure out, pretty much the shape of the image and the form of the image, when I do that shadow part, it's important. But what I think about is where I want the dark areas. I want it to push the eye to the detailed areas that I want people to see and focus on. So, like, even in this sketch, like this shadow under his arm, I want this to push towards his face. You know what I mean? So,
wow, I just
see that better.
Looks great.
But
I kind of copped out. I decided just to do a headshot here, and then you're doing a whole body shot.
Well, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to do just like a headshot. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just thought we'd have more time. I'm like, okay.
Speaking of time, there's 2 minutes left, and you guys started showing off other art, so I can't really say you've been working on it these 10 minutes. So
that's okay. I'll finish it up, like, because I like this pose. So I'll finish it up and I'll send it.
Yeah, well, and like I said, you don't have to. We just want to get, like I said, a taste for give our audience a taste of what kind of the art process, and we can. I just want to give the audience more examples of what Jim's talents are. So we'll stick to
call it talent.
We'll do like we'll stick to like doing
words like talent and good. Then
we'll finish this up in like the next couple minutes, and that way we can go to another one and keep on going, because I know
absolutely
that I want to share some more of your artwork and be able to show exactly what other kind of techniques. And I mean, I just looked at your artwork here and the gesture. That's what impressed me with this piece that you're just showing. I love the swept back arm. I like. I mean, it's almost like you were trying to like sneak up on him, and then he finds you. He like sees you. He's like, nope, you didn't get me. I see you there, and I'm gonna.
Right. My idea was he was walking away. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. You're walking away, and he's kind of turning towards you, saying, "Oh, I see you there." But I also wanted to do his reins wrapped around him, sort of. But I don't think I'll get to that right now.
We'll see that in the finished piece.
We'll see that in the finished piece.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another thing that I just told you what my impression of it was, and that's testament to your skill in terms of like telling. I think that one of our previous guests that we had on here, and it was Justin Acosta's artist Marius for Borbane. One of the things that I think is really cool about I think some of the independent scene is that they're really wanting to tell narratives, tell stories with their art that doesn't actually have to have words to go along with it. And it's really getting that story across without having to have word bubbles, without having to have text to go along with it. And that just shows the strength of the illustration if you can push that without having to have the words to go along with it. So here you are. You just did a simple gesture here, and I was able to easily pick up on what you were going for.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's important to storytelling. Absolutely. You need to be able. The art doesn't have to be, fantastic. It's, and to me, in comic books, the guy who can tell the story through the images without the word bubbles, that's the talented guy.
Yes, that's
the guy who's got the most talent.
Exactly.
And I'm not great at that at all, but that's what I strive at, is to try to there should be one, maybe not in every panel, but there should be one area in the page that the eye goes to, that you've put the detail in, you put the love into, and that could be your fancy schmancy, but you have to still be able to convey a story. And
you remember there's a lot of other stuff than the big POW pictures in a comic.
Right.
Yes.
And you need to focus on those as well. Make them stand out as well.
Yes.
And be there.
Absolutely. And that's really the challenge. But I like the storyboarding part of doing comics. Like, I enjoy that. People
for sure.
Say, "Oh, I hate that part of it," but to me,
that's essential.
That's the challenge part.
Yeah, because that's what separates pinup art from sequential storytelling, is that you need to be able to tell that story, and doing the thumbnails, doing the storyboarding. That's where you can hone in your storytelling, make sure that it expresses what needs to be said. Otherwise, it's just everything is a pinup, right?
Right. Exactly. And not everything needs to be 1,000%, because if it's it depends on if it's a small part of the book, like, hey, that hand looks fantastic, but what does it play in the role of the story?
Exactly. It's like I think that's the true art that I really like, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be completely rendered, right? Only what you want as an illustrator to be able to have the audience look at. It's subconsciously your mind will fill in the blanks for like areas that maybe aren't fully rendered.
Yes.
But
pencils down, by the way.
Pencils down.
Pencils down. Oh, he's not getting a thumb today. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Marlo.
Well, like I said, you're gonna get a chance to like really take it as far as you want, and just give it to us a little later on. But I'm loving it. Look at that.
No, let me see yours. Come on, put yours up on the screen.
No.
Get rid of my guard. No. Get that hand out of there. Oh, that's fantastic. I want you to send that to me. I want to ink that.
You want to ink this mess?
I want to ink that. Yes.
Everything that I do is like an inking nightmare. It's like, which line do you ink?
Oh no, definitely. I want to ink that. Like, okay. I want to pull out what I see in that. Seriously.
Okay, no problem. I
could also see it looking really good with some added watercolor.
So
cool. If you add some watercolor on it, it would really pop out as well.
Yeah, and one thing I want to try is and it was one of our other guests, Jason Flowers, who introduced ink wash. Have you tried ink wash, Jim?
I've done watercolor, which
Done watercolor.
is
similar.
over pencil. Like if you look on my webpage, there's some watercolors.
Right.
There's no
Exactly.
ink in that. Yeah, there's no ink in those watercolors. It's just watercolor over pencil.
Oh wow.
And
Looks so good.
I love that. I spent like 2 or 3 days just like focused on doing these watercolor pieces. I'm like, I got to stop because I'm not getting any real work done.
That just goes to show it's like you probably picked up watercolor like crazy, like all your stuff. It's like you just seem to absorb all different types of art styles. So what I'd like to do for our second one, since Rick is here, originally we were going to do a fan art that that was near and dear to Jim, but let's save that for a little later on because we definitely had some time that we want to like recapture here. So now that we have Rick here, Rick has been a great asset to our team. You like that word?
when I'm here, yeah.
No, not that. It's just like Rick has added a whole another level of just fun to let it out, and in the sense that we usually have like a little bit of a formula. We would definitely want to promote our guest IPs and OCs and stuff like that, but to mix it up a little bit. And Jim has been so generous in accepting this challenge. I'm still like trembling. I have no idea what Rick is going to do, but I'm going to call it the Rick challenge. Rick will just come up with something. I have no idea what it is. Jim obviously won't know what it is. And I'm going to just hand it over to you, Rick. Let us know what the Rick challenge is for today.
Okay, so I checked, of course, had to check Jim's website to get an idea of what it was, because I have to be easy on the guests, but not so easy on Jerel. Jerel doesn't need it easy. So it says you're a big Star Wars fans. You talked a little about that earlier. Also said you've done Stranger Things work.
Stranger Things, yeah.
How familiar are you with Stranger Things, Jerel?
I've watched it.
Okay, so we're not doing that.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Okay.
This is it. He likes to stick me with a knife and just twist it.
Anyway, how about we go completely different and go Walking Dead universe. And we do it easily because Jerel will probably know this character as well. Mm-hmm. I actually want to see Jerel's version of Negan.
Of Negan. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We were talking a little bit about the actor during our pre-show, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
But we weren't looking at art or anything like that. But okay.
No, you're not, and Jim, you're not allowed to look at reference, by the way.
All right, so I have to just draw Negan without reference. Now, am I drawing the actor version, or am I going to try to draw the comic version?
That's your choice. That's completely your
choice.
Because
I've never drawn the comic version, never seen the comic book itself.
Completely your choice, buddy.
Okay. So I'm stuck. But I'll do it. Whatever. Okay.
Well, we can do. You said we could do either the comic version or the series version.
Oh, this is going to be horrible. Oh,
all right.
I love this challenge. It's absolutely horrible.
All right. The clock is ticking. How long do we have to do this?
You have 20 minutes from now on.
Okay.
20 minutes. Okay. No reference.
Yeah,
Bad.
That's the fun part.
Bad. I'm going to cheat here and only do a headshot, though.
That's fine. Jerel is doing the same.
That's me anyway.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here, so.
Well, I apologize. I was only
no. This is great. I was only trying
to stumble Jerel, not you, not the guest of honor.
It should never be easy. It should never be easy. When it's easy, it's boring.
Exactly, and that's why I like these challenges that you just get them put on you without actually being ready or prepared.
Uh-huh.
Pops is coming up with ideas for you. Jim hide his face behind the bed, easy peasy. Michael Oden says hi, Jim. And
hey, Mike, how you doing?
And hashtag Jerel the humble. He just plays humble. Yeah, he isn't really. You should listen to him behind the scenes.
Oh, is that what it is? That's what it is. Okay, yeah. So like here we got Rick just spilling the beans in terms of who I really am, right? So, because even though he's in Denmark, he keeps tabs on me.
Yeah. Well, somebody has to.
Right.
So I was thinking I was gonna just look at Jerel's screen and
Yeah, I was about to say
draw exactly what.
Don't copy. If you want to copy, crappy artwork, yeah, go ahead and look at my.
Way.
I mean, you have the same head shape
really?
going on.
My whole thing is that I try not to look at our guest stuff, because if I do, I'm going to be paralyzed and go, I can't top that. I can't do any better than that. So it's I just leave it like it is.
Oh God, you know what's bad is I'm trying to envision Jeffrey Dean's Morgan. I've drawn his mug a number of times, but it's totally looking at reference. And
I have never looked at his. I mean, I've never tried to draw him. I know kind of what he looks like, but you know what? I'm
going to butcher this poor guy.
I'm just
and you want to know? The sad part is he is a local to me. He owned a candy shop in Rhinebeck, New York, with Paul Rudd.
He spoke in an interview that he something about that once, I remember.
Yeah, he doesn't do much much stuff at the actual candy shop, I don't believe, but he does do a lot of stuff in the town of Rhinebeck. Like he will during Christmas time, he'll do it like a horse carriage type thing, and they'll do a reading. Him and Paul Rudd did a reading one year of A Christmas Story or something.
What? That's
so cool.
I've never heard bad stories about Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Paul Rudd. They just really nice guys that just
they're good people.
Yes, yeah.
And they own a candy store.
Candy store, yeah.
That's so funny to me.
Michael Oden is giving you guys top credit, calling you both of you extremely talented.
I don't even
how much of a treat it is to watch you guys work, and I agree. Especially on Jim Riley's side, it's really a treat to watch you work. I mean, I watch Jerel work a lot, so it gets boring with the time.
And see, Jim, this is what this is the kind of co-host you want. You want somebody who really makes you feel good, makes you, just gives you, rainbows of positivity. I just stream from Ric's mouth, to my.
I'm getting that. I'm sensing that. I'm definitely sensing the.
If you do not sense the love behind the words I'm saying, there's something wrong. You're not listening properly.
You're not really listening. You're not hearing
exactly.
So So speaking, what were we talking about? I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Candy shops.
Candy shops.
Quick question: what is the bat's name?
Who's that for me or is that for?
That was for the first one. That was the first one of you to pop it in.
Oh, Lucille.
Lucille. It is Lucille. I wasn't sure. I started with an L. I don't remember. So what is the correct answer, Lucille?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And there's also just a quick funny question as well. There's another bat-like item, another sports instrument in a famous TV series, like with the same name, like in the early 90s, that was also called Lucille.
I don't know who that is. I was when you told me about another comic book wielding bat person, I was gonna say Casey Jones from Teen.
Oh yeah,
but he didn't name his bat, did he? Did he?
No. I was thinking, have anybody seen the series Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh yes.
I just watched like the reruns on Netflix recently, and the TV in the early episodes he's got Uncle Phil is saving Will from a pool shark. If you've seen that episode,
I haven't seen that.
And he brings out his own pool. Pool, whatever it's called, and he says, "Bring out Lucille." And the first thing when I heard that was, "Oh my God, he's gonna smash their heads in."
So funny.
Oh my God, where's Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah, I was like thinking, I wonder if is it Robert Kirkman? I wonder if he was a big Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan, and maybe that was like a side tribute to. He said, "I'm gonna name the bat after Uncle Phil's."
Horrible.
I really like what you're doing, Jim. You have like this mix of the comic book version of him and then the Jeffrey Dean Morgan version, in my opinion.
Oh God, it's horrible.
No, that's good. Just say thank you.
No, it's horrible, but thank you.
Oh no, just say thank you. That is so.
Just say thank you. No, it's horrible.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? Can I have another? That's just so funny.
No, I have a question. I've read that you've quote unquote only done this in your art career for four short years, but in those 4 short years, you've been really blessed with getting work. Is that how? What would you put that to? You putting yourself out there, or you being blessed with good people around you?
Combination of
He's just a good guy.
both.
To say that.
I think that you get what you put out, so
Yeah.
you know you get back to you. I'm a big believer in that through your actions, and I think that it's been a combination of both.
Because many
just
people
that.
struggle after the first 4 years and still haven't gotten health what you've already accomplished. So I wanted to know if you had this secret you could share with everybody. But
don't be afraid to ask. That's the big thing. Because the worst thing you're going to hear is no, and then you just move on. I think people get caught up in what they believe is going to happen more so than what actually will happen.
Yeah.
And I think that if you just stay positive and you just keep at it, you just keep going, eventually you'll see the things that you want to see. Life tends to give you what you put your focus on. So if you put your focus on negativity, well, guess what's going to show up? Oh God, this is so bad. Oh, can I start over?
Well, if you feel you have the time for it.
No, I don't.
But yeah, as you said, I've just watched the YouTube documentary on Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he says the exact same thing, that if you're afraid of a no, you shouldn't get into this business.
Yeah.
He got over what was it, like 3,000 no's before he got his first couple of yeses.
Yeah, and he didn't say no even when he actually did start working for the big. I haven't watched the whole documentary, but it's sort of like even when he was working for, like Marvel or he would kind of push it and say, "Hey, I'd like to do this," and people would say, "No, you can't do that," and he'd go, "Why can't I do it?" And
exactly
that was kind of the thing, is like you can say what you want or about Todd McFarlane, but the guy is a trailblazer. I mean, he basically he
recreated a Spider-Man.
Yes,
Yep.
and well, just talk about the toy industry. Toys today would not look like the way they do if it wasn't for him getting involved with it, because they weren't producing things that he wanted it to do, because they said it was too expensive or not possible, and he basically made things like that. And then you talk about movies and special effects. I mean, and now we have, he had his toy that he did did a Kickstarter for his Spawn toy. That thing raised over $1 million.
Yep.
Pretty amazing. But yeah, I have much respect for the Todd father.
Same here.
And the best thing about this guy is he's still almost as humble as he was when he first got in there. He's still just the big comic book geek that he was back then.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet him briefly.
Met him? Wow.
Yeah, and I had him sign my Spawn #1 for me, which is great. But he was so nice because he took the time to actually sit there and chat, and we were talking about inking and stuff, and just a really nice, like you said, nice humble guy. What can you say? He's a legend.
Exactly. So basically what I was getting at was to strengthen your comment on if you want to get into this business, remember that people won't come to you. You need to come to them.
Yeah.
And be ready for a no. A no doesn't mean no for eternity. A no means no just right now.
Mm-hmm.
And more times than not, they will give you a reason why they say no, so you have something to work with.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I think that if you want to do comics now, today, versus, let's say in the 90s, it is so easy for anyone to pick up and do a comic book. And what I mean by easy is there's really nothing stopping you from doing it. You can't say anymore that, oh, it's because I can't do this or
I
that.
live in Denmark. I can't do it.
There's a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a way.
You're right, exactly, and that's proof by Jim is that you stepped away from drawing comics, and yet here you revisited it. You went to cons, and the independent creation area. I mean, independent comic area is just rich with just great stories and great storytelling, and there's never been a better way to like talk to potential fans. You don't have to go through the traditional means to get your book across or your idea across.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And now if you want to create, there's software that you can easily create and publish a book. And you can actually, Clip Studio, there's a feature where you can take your pages and you can convert them into a 3D comic book.
What?
And yeah. I mean,
I didn't know that.
It's the software is amazing. So there's always ways, you just keep learning. Mm-hmm. There was an expression when I took martial arts when I was younger that one of my teachers said was always try to remain permanent white belt. So you're always learning. You're always trying to better yourself.
Exactly. Wow. That's a good thing to keep in mind. Always focus on wanting to learn and improve. That's that's what gets you where you want to be.
If you're not moving, you're dying. It's better to just keep trying.
When I took Taekwondo, I never got past white belt yellow stripe. So I guess I'm living proof that I'm staying white belt for.
Look at Jerel finding positivity in his failures.
Yes. I finally have meaning to why I only got to white belt yellow stripe. So
yeah, that's exactly why. That's because you were told only to stay white belt.
It only took like how many years for me to get that grain of knowledge today. To give meaning to why I never went past that belt. So.
Well, thank you, Jim. Now you've made Jerel sleep.
You made my day. I totally I can sleep better at night. Usually I am
glad to help.
Because after the show, Rick beats me up so bad that I have to like decompress and figure out how I can recover from.
Listen, it's for your own good, buddy.
It is. I'm a better person because of this stuff that the amount of grief that I get from Rick.
And Michael jumps in with the oof, Jerel. I even made it to green belt in Taekwondo.
All right.
I don't even need to knock you down. The fans are doing it for me today. That's nice. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, Rick, did you take any martial arts? Were you in martial arts?
Yeah, I have done. I've done some jiu-jitsu and some. I think it's called the Wing Chun in the original
Wing Chun
version. Wing Chun, yeah.
You think you don't know? I mean, you took.
No, I've done it.
Okay. All right.
I haven't done with belts because it was a private practice.
Okay, so you don't even.
Yeah, I've done a few. I've done some boxing when I was younger. That didn't work for me. I didn't like getting hit. So I decided to go do martial arts where it was about not getting hit.
Yeah, no one likes to get hit. I don't know anybody who likes to get hit. So. All right.
No,
so
I don't either.
So, Jim, you took martial arts? So, what belt did you get to?
I got to Shodan level, which is first degree black belt.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
And then I had awesome. a bit of a back issue, and I said, okay, I'm getting older in years. I've learned what I think will help if should I get into a bad situation, but that was about it.
Yeah. And then you decided to go into comics to make sure you wouldn't get into a bad situation.
Well, it's interesting. Like I said, you get what you put out in life. So, if you're searching for violence, chances are
Yes, it'll find you.
It'll find you.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing stops a bullet. So,
Right.
you know, it's better to learn a way
How
to
to.
sense danger and to avoid it if possible. So,
Well, that's what most martial arts actually trains you to, on how to avoid, on how to have the mindset to avoid it rather than start it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's actually the nature of. That's why it's self-defense. It's not self-offense. You know, you need to like learn how to walk away, how to temper your. Even if you're a black belt, you know, it's like Jim is a registered lethal weapon, both with a paper and pencil.
Yeah.
I'm fat and old now. There's nothing lethal about me.
I was gonna say you could be like John,
skinny and in shape. Not anymore.
You could be like John Wick. It's like he killed a man with a pencil. And then it's
no, the only thing I'm killing now is hamburgers. That's about it.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna finish it. It's like he killed that drawing of that man with a pencil. It's like he's the best drawing I've ever seen with a pencil. You know, it's like that's Jim.
Oh God, no! This is horrible. Oh, can we stop this challenge now?
Well, you do have
getting worse.
You do have 5 minutes, and I actually like it. I must admit.
No,
you do make it look like a mix of Jeffrey Dean Morgan's version and the comic book version.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him like a giant bat in the back, so it takes away from his head.
You're gonna do the advice that Pops gave you by hiding his face.
Yes.
Well, that is the comic book artist rule 101. If you can't draw it, just hide it.
Just hide it. Just bury it.
Don't draw the feet if you can't draw feet. If you can't, right? It's like sort of like.
I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke,
and people will never ask where the smoke comes from. It's just there.
It's just there. It's just there.
That's a special effect. Yeah.
That's right. That smoke machine costs a lot of money.
Either that or like, let's put some rubble. Let's put some rubble over here.
So bad.
Nah, Jim, stop it. It's not bad at all.
Horrible. Hey, yeah.
He's even more self-criticizing than you, Jerel. I didn't know that existed.
That's why I really feel like I connected with Jim. He's just I just can't draw like him. It's like,
no, you draw better. Let me see yours. Put yours up on the screen.
No.
That's fantastic. Look at that angle too.
The whole trick of it is not to look.
Look at that angle. That's fantastic. That is so. That is great.
That is Jerel's favorite angle.
Yes,
it works.
That's how I try and like make that. If I do it this way, I can add drama to it and take away from the lack. It's like just put a different point of view on it, so it looks dramatic, even though it's not very good. You know, no feet here.
Yeah, there's no feet here. We don't do believe in feet. This is a non-feet show.
But I'm really, I talked a little about it, but I'm really impressed by your watercolor work.
Oh, thank you.
Like, really a lot. I could easily see that if you work more towards it, that could be like, end up being a cover work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Michael, I did, and I'll just put it up again because I forgot to talk about it. I'm sorry. Michael Oden commented some time ago about he remember when Jim did that Psylocke drawing and was like, I hate this, and everyone else was just looking sideways, going, but why? It's so good.
Oh, no.
I do remember that Psylocke. I do remember reading the comments too about it. It's like Jim was totally saying, I don't like it, and I think everybody was digging it. Everybody thought it was really, really good.
I have to thank Eric DeChamps, who came in and he just messaged me and said, hey, you mind if I give you a few pointer things with the piece? And Eric is he does Magic the Gathering cards.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, and like I love his work, and every once in a while, from time to time, he'll just like pop in and go, hey, what about this? What do you think of this? And they'll show me like an improvement of my work, and I'm like, that's it, that's perfect. So I'm very thankful for him for helping me with that piece, because I probably would have scrapped it.
What, just so we can know, it's like, what did he tell you that specifically to do? Like,
it was the front leg area. He wanted me to extend it and to make the lines a bit more curvier. I had more of an angle, and for females, and he was absolutely right. For females, you try to keep curvy. And then it wasn't much. He just like overdrew it in digitally in red. He like extended the leg more, the front leg more, which helped, and it helped the perspective and made me like it just a hair more. I really didn't like the piece, but I probably would have just scrapped it.
Well, that's typical for artists as well, isn't it? The good artists are usually always those that sees the biggest problems in their own art.
I like to tell people it's people like my work because they see it as it is and they like it. I see it where I want it to be, and I don't like it because it's not there. It's not where I want it to be, and that's just, I think that's typical for artists.
Yeah, that is actually a really good way of talking about it, because I just say I hate it, but the reason why is because in your mind you kind of see it as being something different, and it's hard to sometimes get what you see in your head to be on paper, and those rare times where it does happen, it's fleeting. You kind of like go, oh, I finally got it. Then the next morning when you look at it, it's like, no, I didn't do it. but for that 24 or 12-hour period, I kind of thought liked it. But
that's true. Like, I'll look back at some of my sketch cards, my earlier sketch cards sets, and I'm like, oh God, these are horrible. How did they accept any of these? This is horrible. But yeah, that's a good thing too, because you get to see where you think your mistakes were, and then you hopefully can correct them the next time, which for me never happens.
But at least you're thinking about it.
But at least I'm thinking about it. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point of the matter is, like, maybe it's like if you spend all your time trying to make one piece be where you want it to be, and then rather than just sort of letting it go and then doing something different.
Right.
2 minutes, guys.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And it does seems like, Jim, that your fans know you for being one to back yourself a lot. Pops just wrote, Jim always backs on himself. So it's apparently not a new thing that you...
No, it's true.
That you come out and say that you hate everything you do. Pat O'Donnell just popped by and said hello. Hey Pat, good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah.
He was in one of the previous episodes as well. Really great artist from England. But you're doing good, Jim, and I don't want to hear anything else about it, okay? I don't care about your Shotokan Black Belt 5.
Wasn't Shotokan.
No.
But it's okay.
You did good, and
I'm gonna hate it in quiet over here.
Do you like Jerel? Just hate it in quiet.
Yes. Okay. I don't say anything. I just like get it. I'm secretly, just hating myself on the inside. I'm doing my best emo impersonation inside.
Well, that's why I'm here, Jerel. I'm trying to make you stop not hating yourself. So that's why I'm doing it for you.
Okay, exactly.
I'm doing it to help you. I'm hating you to help you.
Oh yes,
right. It's a deeper lesson. You don't understand it right now. Just accept it.
Yes,
you will understand it when you get to the point. It's needed for you to understand it.
Yes. Oh,
this is really good, guys. Can we mute Jim while he moans?
Feel free. Oh God.
So yeah, while there's a little silence here while they finish up, guys, let's I'll set my attention to the chat for a little bit. If you guys want to watch more of Jim Riley's work, all of his Instagram, Twitter, and website details are down below. And I highly recommend you go to his website and watch his phenomenal art. It's really amazing, no matter what he says himself. Don't listen to him.
It stinks.
Well, Pat, they're getting more time than you because they are a little slower than you. I mean, the way you can drop art within 10 minutes is that's cheating. So that's why you got less time.
And Pat was coming off a project where he was drawing like hundreds of storyboard. Like we were talking about storyboard scenes earlier, Jim.
Yeah.
Pat was at a project where he was drawing like just storyboards for I guess it was a movie pitch or
right.
It was he did hundreds of these cards and it was just amazing. And I just remembered you're talking about how you approach things from a kind of like a storyboard. Like I was thinking about thumbnails, but you were talking about thinking of it from a very cinematic point of view. And that's what I think that's what I like about your artwork as well too, is that they do have such a movie quality to it. I can actually see Mojo becoming a Netflix special or something like that, and they can just take panels from the comic book or at least the artwork that I've seen online, as well as the origin stuff that you shared with me, and I think that would translate really well to like a TV show.
Yeah, your scenes is very based on movie scenes as well in your setup and cinematic. I can't say that word. Cinematography.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
it's very based from movies, which I personally like because that's where I got my education from. And I personally, when I want to do comics, that's how I want to base my stuff as well with the scenes. Because comics, in my book, has always been a drawn version of a movie in a weird way. So it's cool to see you following that kind of guideline as well.
Yeah, you are like sort of telling a movie, with your story. And you think about changing the angle of the camera and the pacing of it and the flow and taking the eye through. It's hard for me I can say those things, but it's easier for me to show it like on a page, like what my thought process is. And I'm not saying I'm 1,000% correct. I'm sure there are much easier and better ways to do it. It's just what I find works
the last few minutes are done, so now.
Oh, is it pencils down? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is horrible. Oh, look at this small tiny head. All right, I'm next.
Look
next.
At that.
No, next.
Look at that. You're knocking this. This looks great.
No, this is horrible. Oh, look at it's so wrong. Oh,
Pat is forgetting that I'm not supposed to be mocked on this show, so he just mocks me that I'm apparently able to pronounce words today.
Hey, Jim, what is it? What was it? Rick likes to teach us Americans how to English. So
when I'm able to pronounce the word, I
But anyway,
I could use all the help I can get.
That looks awesome. I don't know why you were talking so bad about it.
No, this is horrible. Let's get it off here. Okay, what's next?
And then Jerel is really good as well. He went
Look
the
at
completely.
That is fantastic. That is.
He went the completely different way. He made his own version of Negan altogether.
Kind of like
that's.
I made him younger. And
here's the thing, though. If you put that out, right, and you said to somebody, "Who is this supposed to be?" Because there is a bat in his hand.
Exactly.
Spikes, it will draw people and say, "Oh, that's Negan."
Exactly.
And that is very important in comic and storytelling.
Well,
that is more important than the likeness of Negan.
Yeah, I don't know. Failed. I think he looks too young, but it almost looks like he's Tony Stark as Negan.
Well, yeah, the beard kind of makes it look a little Tony Stark-ish, but
he looks too young. But anyway,
mine is horribly transformed. He looks like the Clark Gable of Negan. Oh God, it's so bad.
The thing about Negan is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's version of him is that he's a good-looking guy, you know, in that show, and that added to his sadistic nature. It's like
his charismatic nature.
Yeah, he'd be smiling as he beat your head in, and he would just look.
Put up your Negan as well. I'm just trying to find a comic book version of him, so we can so you can see.
I've never seen the comic version. Well, I might have seen it in glance, but I don't know the comics.
Mm-hmm.
The Walking Dead.
I see here. Here's a comic book version of him.
Oh, all right.
You came close.
It's not that you can see what I mean when I say it's a good mix of the Dean version and the comic version. So that's why I think you hit the.
Wait! I want to show you. This makes it look a lot better. Hold on 1 second. There you go. All right. Next. Sorry, man. That's horrible. It is.
Jim's way of doing it. But I know what I want to do. I would like to do 2 more, but I think we're already pushing we got 20 more minutes before we hit the 2 hour mark. So what I'd like I'm going to go ahead and just say what we were going to do for another fan art tribute was Jim is a X-Men fan, particularly Wolverine, and what I would like to do is just show some of his X-Men sketch cards. Hey, sure. Can you go to his webpage and
I'm already on it.
Oh, you're already on it. Yeah, if you can find the page that has some of his has Wolverine and Storm, and I just want to share that
Marvel premiere,
Marvel cards that he did. I just want to share that art with people so they can kind of
there you go.
Yes, there it is.
I'm a professional. I'm already there.
Well, this is a different one. This was this X-Men? Yeah, this was X-Men Ultra Fleer, I believe. Yeah, this was specific to X-Men. This particular card set, but the Marvel premiere was the very first sketch card. If you go up to the top, right there with that big P. Yep, these were the first cards I had ever done for. I don't know if you can zoom in on those. Yeah. These are the first cards, and this Wolverine is the first Wolverine card, the very first card I ever did.
Wow!
Which Marvel premiere.
Which one of them does too?
And you want a funny story? Do you want me to tell that funny story?
Tell the story, because
incredibly horrible, funny story.
Well, this goes to show you what people value your artwork at.
No, they were just trying to make money. That's the bottom line.
Okay,
so after they premiered and they went out, I was looking because I was excited and I wanted to see people actually draw the cards. Like people do open boxings of the cards. And I went to look on eBay to see if anybody was selling any, and just to see if they found them. And someone found the Wolverine, and they were selling it for $10,000.
What?
Yeah, not that they were going to get $10,000, mind you, because it was just hysterical the fact that they were trying to sell this card for $10,000. So I messaged them. I said, "Did you accidentally put one too many zeros in there?" And I never got a response. And it was funny because I kept watching. It went from 10,000 to 5,000 to $1,000. Over the course of months, it just kept going down.
And in the end, it was like,
eventually it got sold, and I don't know what it sold for. I never found out, but I do know that I got contacted, I believe, on Instagram from the person who actually ended up buying the card, which is great because he's a collector and he wasn't going to sell it, and that's what I wanted. Yeah, I wanted somebody to have it who enjoyed the character. And it would have a home.
But $10,000, man.
Yeah, that was hysterical. So, Jared, after we talked, just for giggles, I went on eBay, and I haven't done this in a while. Went on eBay just to see, because I've done other sets, and obviously, and I wanted to see what was out there. And somebody was trying to sell one of my Rey cards from Star Wars of Rey, the scene where she had the lightsaber up in front of her face, half face.
Right.
They were trying to sell that for $179. I'm like, get out of here! Why would you add? I'm not Picasso. Nobody's Jim O'Reilly. Who? Seriously, who? But hey, I guess there's a market for people who want to buy stuff at ridiculous prices. Yeah. These pages that you're showing here, if you want another funny story.
Yeah, let's
go ahead.
Not really funny, but everybody knows who Rob Liefeld is. I'm sure. Everybody remembers Youngblood.
You're trying to hide the feet. Speaking of
yes, the comic. Well, no, her foot's down there.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a little bit of her. All right. Anyway,
Well, excuse me.
I'm kidding. The company that bought the rights to Youngblood wanted me to do a book for them called Darklanders. Now, it didn't end up working out because the guy who has the rights is eccentric, and that's where I'll leave it. It didn't end up working out, but these are pages from Darklander that won't see publication, that I did. But it's about 7 sequential pages altogether.
They're great looking pages. It's a shame that they won't actually.
Well, I left because of a disagreement, and I won't go into the disagreement. And I'm not going to bash the company or the guy.
Why not? This is the greatest place for it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
We're here to support comic books.
We had different opinions, I guess. We'll say that. And it had nothing to do with the artwork.
No.
It had nothing to do with the artwork. It had nothing to do with storytelling or anything like that. Just there was an issue with payment, and that was it.
We'll leave it like that.
We'll leave it like that. Yeah. That's right. But I hope Youngblood, because I loved Youngblood. I collected Youngblood, and I really hope that it actually sees that what he's doing with it will. But he had me do a cover for Die Hard, which he also had the rights to. So I did that cover for him, but that won't see publication either, unfortunately. Anyway, and there's the original, Jared, of that.
With the orc's head.
Yeah.
You inked it too. And there's the Psylocke one that everybody loved, but Jim hated. So
move on.
Let's stay here for a minute.
Let's all just take it in.
Let's torture Jim a little more.
See, even though I think it's awesome, this is Rick. He wants to. He's like, I
think it's awesome as well, but it does help that he doesn't.
It's painful, Rick. It's painful.
I think it's
okay,
good.
Rick. Hurt me.
See how you use the silhouettes and the shadows to complement her from the background and everything. That's good stuff, Jim.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
You know how to use your shadows properly to make stuff come out.
Yeah,
it's all guesswork.
Okay, and right before we go into our final drawing, because I would like, can we isolate Jim? And Jim, do you have your another hidden talent besides wood burning? Besides traditional, I want to see this.
I don't know if this is a talent. Because...
Okay, so Jim is also a talented traditional sculptor. Check out.
This is my second sculpt of Mojo, and what I'm doing is I'm going to do a tier level when the book comes out for an original sculpt, so somebody could actually end up purchasing an original sculpture. So this is like the mock one that I did in Monster Clay, and Monster Clay doesn't harden completely. It's hard, but it doesn't completely harden, so you can always work it and sculpt it. That's the beauty of Monster Clay. So I had to find a clay that I could bake that would, because he has like
the dreads,
integral details and stuff that wouldn't break when I shipped. And I just got lucky that Monster Clay is making a new clay called Cost Clay, or they made it, and they just put it out. They just kickstarted it, and they just released it out to the public for public use. So I started. So that's the Mojo.
That's great stuff. It's like another. Oops. Oh. We lost Jim.
Oh no!
Jim, are you okay? Are you okay?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
The camera,
you see me?
The camera's looking at the ceiling right now. I think you just need to.
Oh, my camera fell off. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
All right, good. We still got Jim.
Sorry.
Okay. And here's
a sculpt that somebody. Well, it's starting. Obviously not the finish, but he'll have his staff in his hand. And
look at that. I mean, I tell you, it's like Jim's knowledge of anatomy just easily translated to sculpting. I mean, that's amazing.
This is really got to be bulked out. Trust me. Oh, it's nowhere near done.
God damn it, Jim! Can you just take a compliment or two just for once? Oh my God!
No. Thank you. Sorry.
So that is a good segue into our final live drawing. Hey, if go to the Mojo. I think it's it's one of the first few things in the gallery. And it's the character. Yeah, the character there. Show the one with the colored one. Yes, the color. Yes.
I was about to, Jerel. Stop confusing me.
This is our final live draw along, and I'm hoping that somebody in the audience is watching too, wants to do Mojo along with us. So
That would be cool.
yeah, we got like it's already. It's gonna be like 10 minutes. We can do a little bit more. It's like 15 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes. I know that you could probably draw this with your eyes closed, Jim, but me, I'm gonna.
Well, that's a challenge. That's a challenge then. Jim, do it with your eyes closed.
What's that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
That's the challenge then. Jim, do it with your eyes closed.
Do it with my eyes closed? Okay.
No, Jim just said you could. Jim just said you could.
God, I've never tried that actually.
Jim was actually saying, oh, I didn't hear you. What did you say, Rick? What did you say? I didn't hear you. What
Mike's breaking out.
All right. So let's do Mojo, and while we're drawing Mojo here, if you want to tell us a little, what you can tell us a little bit more about Mojo that won't step on Mojo Origins or the Mojo Rising, just a little bit about maybe just some of the character details, what his look, because I know in the illustration that I saw, which it almost looked like he was talking, and there was this, it was like a stream that was like some sort of, I don't know if it was like Mojo Speak or something like that. There was some sort of it looked like you'd illustrated something.
This one?
Yes. If you can zoom in there.
I can't.
One of the things, one of his powers is he has a staff that he carries, and it's called the Staff of Decay. So when he activates it, he can breathe out this mist that will decay a person, basically.
So it's it's like death breath.
Like death breath. So these are some of pages. I don't know if you want me to show the Mojo or just want me to jump in the challenge.
Oh, it's up to you.
Here is
wow.
This is some older quick sketches I did of him. Think of the guy who played Aquaman there.
Jason Momoa.
Thank you. Jason Momoa. I'm old and my brain stops. Think of Jason Momoa. That's kind of like if I envisioned an actor playing him, that's who I'd want to play Mojo. With tons of dreadlocks and an old ratty hat with a skull on with a feather sticking out. And of course with an arm that has armor on it. So carrying a staff around, doing magic, causing a lot of trouble.
That's phenomenal. I just love the character design, and I guess with that being said, let's just jump right into it and start doing our.
Wait. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay. So Rick had to have.
You said 10 minutes, right?
I don't
10
know.
minutes?
15. Let's do 15. 15.
15?
Yeah.
At least. Okay. How about we start?
Let's do 30.
Okay.
Let's do an hour.
That's the thing. I'm a very slow artist.
That's the problem here, because Jerel is like a super quick artist, and then we're working.
I see that.
I don't know
I'm at a huge disadvantage here.
And then working with a speed artist, and have to find a middle ground for what works and what doesn't work between the two of you.
Well, let's start with 15 and then go from there. Let's see where everybody's
All right,
at.
let's see what we can do.
You're stressing out the guest, Jerel. Don't do it.
Thanks, Jerel.
Yeah,
it's all me. Well,
this guy, am I right, Jim?
Yeah, I know. This is like the host,
Oh, okay. I'm really gonna go cry tonight on my pillow.
No, he's not. He's gonna laugh.
Yeah, he's gonna laugh. He is actually an evil. Jerel is actually an evil man.
Evil. That's strong, man. Evil man.
He's laughing at a lot of people's pain.
No,
wait, that's me. Sorry.
He's confusing himself.
Yeah. So Mojo, I like to say it's a love story, believe it or not, with some undertonings of magic behind it. Basically, these two lovers are used as pawns. These two rivalry witches are fighting, and they use Mojo and his love as pawns against each other to try to hurt each other. And the main villain, Bayonetta, is actually Mojo's former lover. And her father, of course, doesn't approve of Mojo at all.
That's just
because he's
Romeo and
over-
Juliet.
In the bio.
Yes, in the bio. Kind of that direction, but the way Mojo ends up dying and getting his powers is really going to be dramatic. And I was telling Jerel the other night, I'm afraid it's going to be so brutal that, it's Kickstarter or Indiegogo isn't like, no, far too brutal. No, can't do that. Sorry.
Oh, Indiegogo has rules about how brutal the comics.
I think so. I think there are some. I don't know too much about it, but I think that if something is too graphically violent, they can.
Does Indiegogo? Do they look at your whatever you do? You have to submit to them what you've done.
I think so. I
really?
believe so. Like I said, I won't be handling that aspect, but I've heard of Indiegogos being taken down because of the content being a little bit too.
Well, just don't have that page ready. That page will be done.
I won't be handling. Probably, I'm imagining Greg and Raj will handle the Kickstarters and Indiegogo. I won't have to handle too much of that. I'm hoping.
Right.
So, but I still need to know, like, obviously, when we get to that stage, how far I can go and what I can show and what I can't show. So,
I like the top hat. I like the top hat so much. I don't know why, but every time a comic character,
I do too.
Every time a comic character have a top hat, I'm instantly in. Like the Spawn, like the Spawn toy.
Yeah.
There's at least one character where with a Spawn with a top hat. I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite Spawn. Why? Because he got a top hat. That's why. Don't question it.
Well, probably it's because Rick he has his own top hat, and when he goes around his apartment or his house with a kazoo, and
he
plays his kazoo with his top hat.
Well, that's how I wake up in the morning, Jerel. That's my way of waking up. Don't judge.
Listen, Rick, you do you, okay? Don't
I
worry
will.
about it.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for being supportive. That's really needed
no problem.
in here.
No problem.
There's no support elsewhere. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. You're welcome. No problem. Poor Jerel. Jerel's like, I don't want to talk to Jim after this show now. I'm done with that guy.
I'm just laughing.
Totally
That's all I'm doing. I'm just laughing.
No, Jerel is getting used to me getting all the guests on my side.
Yes. I'm definitely left out in the cold. No gifts for Jerel.
No.
No motor stuff.
Yeah, no. It's all Rick. It's all about the Rick.
So
you didn't even. So Rick, do you have any projects that you're working on that you're doing?
No, I'm too bitchy. Bitchy. Okay.
Whoops.
That was a
Freudian slip.
Yeah. Well, it's not even. I am bitchy, but yeah. I work as a teacher right now.
Okay.
Art work with people with younger people that lives in a very criminal and bad environment, and they use art to try and use art to get them out of there, like a therapeutic kind of thing, get them out of the environment, and that's where I'm focused on right now. I think the reason I've joined here is because I was working with How to Draw Comics for the last 3 years before I got here, which is one of the biggest groups on Facebook right now for comic book creators and homepage with homepages and everything. So that's where Jerel knows me from. I've done podcasts, and I'm just a character. I don't know if you noticed. I'm
he's not really there. He's
not at all.
Jerel lost my charisma, and so he asked me. Oh well, he asked for like an hour until I said yes.
I like how my version of how that day transpired completely is different. But yeah, go for it, Rick.
My sounds better, Jerel.
His sounds, it's definitely more exciting. So. But go for it.
Nah, I'm here because I like comics and I have experience in the business. Whether or not I've created comics or I've been on the side of a lot of creators, comic creators. I mean, I still got the experience. I still got the knowledge to talk about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, but he also, Rick, do you want to talk about your Discord too? Not only.
Yeah. I also have a Discord where we come together and help each other improve in our different art aspects, where we get the challenges or critiques, more personal critiques than just over Facebook. But Facebook critiques can be a little bit more daunting for some people. So I made a more closed Discord chat where people are more coming together, more private. So it's easier to maybe open up, wanting critiques from there and improve themselves.
We got
classes in there with tutorials and helpful. I try to do weekly streams whenever I can, whenever I have the time. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff doing right now, but none of it is personal for me. It's all about helping others. Which is what I want, and I'm fine with it. I don't want it to sound like, I guess I have to, because it's not. It's what I want. I like helping others get better and improve and get their name out.
That's important, man. That's cool. That's absolutely cool.
And I was thinking too is that Jim, you would be a great teacher, I think, in terms of like, have you ever thought about mentoring people or maybe sharing some of your insight in terms of like you have a great story in terms of just how you came back to
I haven't, and then I thought, well, who'd want to listen to this guy?
Here we go again.
Seriously,
there's a lot of people that would disagree.
Who wants to listen to this guy?
Watching the show.
Listen. People want to listen to Jerel, Jim. So there's a chance people also want to listen to you. If there's people in this world wanting to listen to Jerel, they'll listen to you. Jerel is only a white belt. Remember.
Poor Jerel. Poor Jerel.
All for the show, the sacrifices that I make.
The sacrifices you make for this show, I tell you.
But yeah,
I thought about doing it, and like that was the fun thing about cons is you would have occasionally a young kid that would come up and be like, oh, or the parent would be with them and say, hey, what can you tell my son about or my daughter about doing art? And I would like just stop what I was doing and try to like give them total focus and try to teach them something. The major thing is just like drawing every day. That's key. Doing something, even if it's 5-10 minutes, do something every day.
Even if it's just doodling.
Yes. Even if it's simple drawings that hate. Try to have some kind of purpose, like if you want to focus on hands or if you want to focus on feet or whatever. But at the same time, pick up the pencil. That is what's going to get you to improve. Listening to me isn't going to do it. But picking up the pencil and actually doing the work is what will help you improve. And I know that seems cliche, but it's true. It's like,
well, cliche is sometimes the correct things to follow.
Let's study if you're weak on anatomy, which I am horrible with anatomy. Study that. If you're horrible on shadowing and lighting, study that. If you're looking at composition, look at that. There's just so much that you can do to improve.
And everything is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. I said just in the time that you're spending wondering what to do, you could be doing something.
Exactly, and it's so easy to find now.
Oh yeah.
Internet. You want to learn about anatomy. If you search that on YouTube, you'll get a million freaking videos. I mean, sure. Like 75% of those videos won't do shit for you, but the rest will probably help you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I find that most artists are willing to help. As long as you're polite and you're not rude about asking, most artists are definitely willing to.
Except for Jerel, he wants money for it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Oh.
I don't know how true that is, but I've heard. No, but seriously, I have yet to meet anybody who like isn't willing to help or.
Except Joe.
Yeah.
I think that that's the thing I enjoyed about talking to Jim, is that when he was telling me about some of his con experiences, and he was saying that there was one drawing, I think was it Dr. Doom? He said you were drawing Dr. Doom. And it was one of those things that you were just drawing it, never drawn Dr. Doom, but you were just kind of like experimenting with it. And a fan just happened to come up to you and say, "Hey, Dr. Doom is like my favorite character ever." And this is just showing how big a heart Jim has. Jim said, "It's yours." Gave it to the guy and just said, just no questions asked, no talk.
Actually, if you go to my web page, I think it's on there.
You want to share
the recreation? I had to recreate the whole thing over again.
I am trying to find it as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So
there should be a Dr. Doom face.
Did you at least finish the Dr. Doom before you gave it to him? Or
it was completely penciled, and it had because I love working with pencil, like traditional pencil. It had a reflection of the thing in the mask of Dr. Doom.
Oh gosh, that sounds so beautiful.
I had to recreate it again to do a print because I liked how it came out, but the guy was like, this is my favorite character. I have Fantastic Four comics. That's it. Yep, you had it up. So that's the recreation of it.
There we go.
There.
Wow.
And then I colored it. Now this is all digital because I had to recreate the whole thing, but the pencil piece was a lot better than that piece. But
that was lucky guy.
Like I told you, Gerald. Like when I'm working on stuff, I'm drawing. I'm like, why am I drawing this piece? You know what I mean? And then somebody will come along and go, "Oh, I really liked it," and I'm like, "All right, then I know why I was drawing it." It's
that is such
I like that thought process.
That is such a great story. It's like I was drawing it for you. I just didn't know it.
I just didn't know it. You know what I mean? And because what am I doing with it? I don't work on Dr. Doom or Fantastic Four.
It's a good thing to think about that. You always do something for a reason. Sometimes you just don't know it before the reason shows up.
Exactly.
And it's a good way to look at things, that you don't have to start anything with a reason, but the reason will come eventually.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that's
now, mind you, my table mate was.
He wasn't too happy.
What are you doing? Why are you giving art away for free?
You could sell it.
You're missing the point here. You're missing the point here, O'Reilly.
You suck at cons.
Man, that is Jerel. That is fantastic.
Oh, don't look at my stuff right now.
No, leave that up. Don't you take that down. Oh, that is so good. That is fantastic. Now you got to put the hat.
I'm putting it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm putting it behind it, but I didn't know he might. Fantastic. I'm not sure if it would look as intimidating or not with the hat at that angle.
It all in. Just darken it all in.
All right.
The back. Yeah.
See, I'm getting pro tips from Jim here.
I mean, even when we speak about Jim being able to help people, even Pop Sand wrote earlier that Jim broke down one of his drawings and taught him a lot in 20 minutes. So you saying that people might not have anything useful to say or teach, well, that's just you being silly Willy again.
Silly Willy.
It is. Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
And you should go to your room.
But Jerel, I love this piece, and I want you to finish this for me.
Okay, I will do just for you.
I'm serious. I'm going to find a place for it in the book.
Okay, that sounds like a deal.
Lost my earpiece.
And
I want to put that somewhere in the book.
Okay, we'll do.
I'm beginning to understand why Jim is so slow.
Because I love good art.
His attentions go left and right all the while.
Nobody cares about my emoji. Look at this.
We care, and I would have to say that people are looking forward to Mojo Origins and Mojo Rising. There's lots of people, and that's the thing too. I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I definitely want to give
that thing was. I mean, you just did the cover. Full disclosure, you only did a variant cover for it.
Yep.
But that Kickstarter was funded. Was it less than 24 hours? It was funded.
It was funded in the first 48 minutes.
48 minutes. That's
yes.
Incredible.
And then in the first 24, almost 48 hours, it tripled.
That's amazing.
And yeah, I'm like those guys.
People are not interested in your art for sure. No. No, that's why
one cares.
Why that happens, Jim. That's why that happens, Jim. That's because they don't like it.
No, that was a testament to Manuel Soto, who's doing the Mojo, the first book, the interior. Like those guys have like a really neat style that just like boom, it pops. It's quick and
it's kinetic. It's frenetic. Yes, I mean, it has energy in it, and I look at it and. It's definitely a stylized approach, but it works. It works for this character, and
absolutely.
And that's the cool thing about Mojo. He definitely, when you look at it, you wonder. It's intriguing. You want to know more about his story, and I got to learn. I feel like I got a little bit of an inside knowledge when you shared with me some of the details. But
I'm honored to be working with these guys, really, and to be able to work with this character, because I fell in love with him. Mm-hmm. And Raj Mahan, who created the character, and we just hammered out an origins for him, and it just flowed. I can't really describe it. It just flowed out like it was meant to. This is meant to come to life, and that's how I feel about it. And my job is to try to bring the origin story, to life for people.
So that I guess what we're talking about, the origin. So like sure. When you talk with the creators behind it. When they did Mojo Rising, so there wasn't a full origin story that was fleshed out. So when you got on to do the variant cover and they liked your work, the chemistry that you had with the creators, they said, "Hey, we have like some loose storylines that we kind of are thinking about Mojo. What do you think?" And then is that where you came in, or did you like say, "I think"? No,
they were working on the first book already. They had already been working. I think it was like 3/4 of the way done, and I had saw some images and. I just like drew a couple of quick sketches that are in a sketchbook somewhere. And I started talking to Raj. I said, "Hey, I'd really like to do like an origin story for this. What do you think?" And we just started talking about the backstory and Raj would give me some ideas. And I said to him, "Well, what do you think of this?" And he loved it. And it was synergetic. We just flowed. All the ideas flowed. They sounded good. And he was able to incorporate those into
on the fly.
So like the metal arm and because I thought he first of all it looked kind of cool, and then we like came up with where did it come from, where's the backstory, and it just flowed. It just really, really flowed. So I have like a general how I'm working on the book is I have a general idea of how I want this story to go from beginning to end, beginning, middle, end. And I'm drawing the pages, I'm doing quick thumbnails and images and what I want to put in, and then I'm going in to do the finishings. And then I'm going to actually letter it myself first.
Under 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
No, under 5. Well, you've got this one. I'm just
Jim has just been talking and looking around.
I apologize.
I can see you in these smaller windows here, Jim. So I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're here to talk about your work after all.
No, but seriously, it flowed. I love this character. I love the direction that we're going to go with the origin story, and I'm excited. I can't wait until I'm finished with it. And I'm just everything fell into place. The colorist meeting Jimmy Reyes and having him do inks because he's going to be inking the cover. Kevin Conrad.
Oh, nice.
Kevin Conrad, who inked Spawn, is going to be doing a variant inked version of it as well. So, and the colorist Sigmund Torre, we just got talking online, and he loves it, and he's been doing the coloring for it, and it's just amazing. He makes my crappy art look great. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that your stuff the work that you're doing, it attracts people that want to. I mean, for the same reason why you were engaged by it. I mean, just a really cool character. People are gravitating to it and want to contribute to it too. They want to be a part of it, and and I have some. Yeah,
I have some surprise people who are going to be doing like pinups, and I don't want to release their names until I actually pay them, because I won't accept anything for free. I will pay people for their work up front. So I don't want to announce those until I actually have done that. But you'll be surprised. There's some really talented people who are going to lend to some pinups.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait.
Nice.
So
that'll be really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So,
so the
like
we talked about the metal arm thing. That's a spoiler, right? That's something that we don't really we shouldn't go into detail about the metal arm, right?
Do you want me to go into
detail? No. I don't. I want to make sure. I was going to say, as long as it's not, if it's out there already, then let's talk about it. But if it isn't, then let's.
Well, the metal arm is out there, Jerel.
I don't
talk about. It's an arm and it's of metal. That's what. That's
it. That's it.
Okay, there we go. All right, it's done. That's it. We're not going to talk no more.
Let's just say how he gets it is very unique, and it's not very nice. It belongs to someone else.
Okay, there we go. But stop. I'm gonna get Jim in trouble.
Okay, fine. It's Colossus from X-Men, but you weren't supposed to know. Damn it! Now you ruined it.
Oh yeah. So basically, Colossus does like a vacation trip to the bayou, and he runs into
this.
He was down there to try and find Gambit.
Yes, exactly. and then he just happened to drop in on the wrong swamp and decided and there's the story. Wow. Okay. Good. There we go.
Thank you, Jerel, for ruining all those years of hard work they've gone through within minutes. Oh God! Wow. Guess who's never coming back to this show now?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much.
I'm just known for ruining everything.
I apologize, Jim. That's really unprofessional.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna let that slide. We might have to rewrite the book, but that's all right. Nothing to see here.
Move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
This is not the robot arm you're looking for.
Not the metal arm you're looking for.
But I've got like a whole bunch of we have characters too that we want to continue with that are just going to slightly premiere in the first book. One of them being Dolly, who's who's actually Pops Van Zant's creation. We're just gonna we haven't fleshed her out totally. We have a general idea for her, and we're not gonna like premiere her in the book. She's just kind of like behind the scenes in a sense. And I think Pops will be very, very happy to see that. To me, a very cool character.
And Pops knows this already, so Pops knows this already. Okay,
not a spoiler.
So he's not. So he's not sad.
Nope.
Passed out.
No, he's not crying right now. Going, why'd you tell me? No.
He's not. He's not in complete shock at home right now. Okay, good.
He's like banging his head. He's like, I didn't know that. It's like he's telling everybody about it.
Why is he saying that?
That's good. No, Pop, like I said, Pop's like you guys, very supportive of the indie scene, and he needs to get a lot of credit for what he does because he takes the time out himself and supports indies and promotes indies and
that's awesome.
It is.
Well, indies, whether people want to admit it or not, is the way the business is going. Obviously.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see more and more people are going in there to support it.
Yeah, but the Kickstarter is doing very, like I said, it's fully funded. It's doing very well. They've unlocked a lot of stretch goals, things that I don't even know about. I think I'll be doing some variant not some variant covers, some blank sketch covers as part of the tier and some sketch cards, I believe. So that'll be fun.
Okay, time's up, by the way.
What? Time is up!
I even
gave Mojo. I think this is Mojo.
I even gave you 5 more minutes and everything.
Oh, he did.
Look how horrible that is.
Jim just decided to start talking and look at your art instead, Jerel.
So.
Oh, he was
Put that up.
No, let's look at
that joke.
Jerel, seriously, why are you not doing a book?
This is my version of Mojo, but I think it's I know what you're talking about. When I was drawing this, it was I couldn't help but think
This is
there's
really
so many
awesome.
cool stories that you can. He has such a unique look about him that you could just, it's like, wait, explain the face paints, or if that are those tattoos, or I mean his glowing eyes, that just there's so much about
and
him.
Your art style really fits so well with the character, Jerel. I
It
really
does.
like this.
I'm out of a job. Jerel just took my job. That's it. I'm done.
I gotta tell you, Jim, you inspired me to like do like this art piece, and just talking to you really was a great thing, and I hope that our viewers got a chance to just listen to what Jim said and be moved. I mean, I was like, I really just, I think I got a taste of just what kind of when he was talking to the creators of was it Mr. Mahan that you talked to, or Raj?
Mahan.
Right, when you were talking to him and how you were describing to me when we were doing our pre-interview about how you guys just hit it off. You guys were just vibing ideas off each other, bouncing ideas off each other. And the look was there, and it was just a matter of like telling the rest of the story. And I tell you, I looked at all the art that you had sent, and I was really just moved to like. I mean, I've never drawn him, but it was nice to let that creativity come out, just because it was. I was like, you just happened to be talking about it, and I was able to interpret it. So, thank you.
I would love to ink
Jim,
Jerel, I would seriously love to ink that, man. That's amazing.
Raj needs to see this as well.
Yes.
I think he'll love it.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. And let's go back to I want to see. I didn't get. Yes, look at this. This is like the.
This is nothing.
You don't. Well, you only have a few. It's like this is less is more. This is what I like about this. It's like you don't have to go into heavy rendering. You just have to do just a few lines, and there's so much story in here. I just see the movement in it, and there's energy. That's just it's in the drawing itself. You don't have to do heavy rendering to make this work.
There's when you're drawing a piece or an illustration, like I said, the work doesn't have to be anatomically 100%. It has to tell the story, and you have to leave some room. For me anyway, I gotta leave some room for the reader to put their own images in subconsciously.
Never thought, that's a good way of putting it.
And I think that's important. But if you don't mind, I'd just like to show some of the Mojo.
Oh yes, go for it.
Okay.
Yes, let's do it. I mean, we finished this challenge, and
really quick, I just want to say, Pops Van Sant also loved your Mojo.
Thanks, Pops.
Jerel, I want that scanned and sent my way.
All right. I mean, it's definitely. Like I said,
if you want to finish it up and ink it yourself, that's fine. But send me the scanned pencil version. I'd really like to ink.
Definitely, I'll definitely do that. But let's look at this more of these things that you have. Is this from Origins or that?
This is from Origins. This will be from the Origins. This is Dolly. Yeah. This is Pop's character. Like I said, she'll get a little bit of an introduction. This is
this the love interest?
The credit page.
Is this when you talked about how it's a love story? Is Dolly the love interest?
No, Dolly is a young girl who actually gets caught up in the story, and she's turned into a porcelain doll.
Yes,
basically, and she has this little ragdoll creature that she can control, and it has like some creepy elements to it. I don't want to give too much away.
Yes, don't get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I'll get myself in trouble. Trust me. This is a chapter page. Sigmund Torre, I love his colors. Just I gave him basically green for the magic and make it like
trippy.
Like
you said the word trippy.
Trippy type cut. And this is what he can. And he did with the water what I wanted to. He did the color holds. I
just realized the water and the crocodile tank.
That's what I was like. I didn't notice the texture. I was like, thought that in the water, that's a crocodile.
In the water.
Yes, that's a crocodile.
Yeah. Two crocodiles. He's kind of like turned with his head up, but
right.
Just took me a minute that he'd actually also painted drawn and inked the crocodile under the water.
Yes, it was
a lot of artists was just been cheap and lazy and said, "Okay, this is water."
No, actually, if I can show, go back. I'll show the inked version. I believe I have it here. So that's the inked version.
Oh yeah.
So,
But I tell you, those
but then
colors.
he just came in and managed to.
I know the inks are incredible, like with that positive negative, strong positive negative. But when you see the colors, it's like another level. That's been brought out in there.
Yeah, he just nails it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nails it. And he did I didn't even tell him I wanted the light down here, and he just put it down there. That's when he did this piece. I said, "That's it. I want you on colors. I don't care what you're doing. I will pay you for every page that I have your color. If the Kickstarter is successful, I'll pay you the rest. So every page that I'm having colored, I'm paying him for because I want him as my colorist.
Phenomenal.
He's going
phenomenal talent. What was his name again? His name? Let's
Sigmund Torre.
Sigmund Torre. Yeah. Okay, great.
Torre, yeah.
Okay, so check out Sigmund Torre.
Yeah, coloring, and you can give him work. Just realize he's not leaving me. So
Jim is high on the priority list. So like he won't drop any work for Jim. Jim is priority number 1.
I will hunt him down and make him work because he just does phenomenal. He's hitting this right where I want it. So
yeah,
and these are just some pages. This is the page I'm working on now. This is Raj. Don't let Raj know, but this is Raj. He's in the store.
Oh, I see. And I see he doesn't have the metal arm yet. So this is
no. This is
he hasn't met Colossus hasn't showed up yet.
Not yet. He's hiding in the water.
Exactly. He's gonna
This is a chapter 2 page.
Look at the colors on this.
This is Bayonetta.
This
is Bayonetta. She's his love, the jaded lover.
I see.
He just looked jaded at all. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with her.
Oh, look at this. This is wicked. Oh,
yeah, this is a bog witch. This is one of the bog witches. This is like
and here he's called Jerel. Surprise.
How'd you know?
Jerel,
I was telling you about how we wanted to go with that Mike Magnolia look in the beginning. We're and I just can't capture that. But these were 2 sample.
It's a nice study. It's sort of like you get a chance to kind of then you know what this is where you kind of truly it's like you really appreciate an artist's style, but then when you try and mimic it, then you realize oh my gosh, it's like it's so hard to do. Magnolia stuff is it looks so simple, but it's so complex. It's a very what he does is incredible.
He has a command over it. So I was like, I can't do that. And then of course we showed this. This was Greg Harm's inks over the original pencils, which are there.
Oh gosh, those pencils look great. And why do Magnolia when you can do this, Jim? This looks good. You don't need to do
because he's really good. These were like some original Disney stuff that
we talked about that,
and I showed that. So, but phenomenal. I'm excited to finish the book. I have a bunch of layouts I could show you, but I don't. For sake of time, I won't.
Okay, well let me go ahead and share the Kickstarter. Rick, do you have that, or do you want me to pull up the Kickstarter?
I'm not doing my job, Jerel. You do it.
Okay. I can't tell if you.
Rick, I was gonna say something, Rick, but you seem to be getting on top of it, so I'm gonna let it go.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. I'm just gonna.
I don't have it on. I didn't even think about it.
Counting the seconds to see how long it takes him to find the Kickstarter.
No, don't, because I'm not starting.
You're not starting.
I don't even have to. I didn't.
If you can put up the link for the Kickstarter,
I'll find
I would appreciate
it. I'll do it.
Yeah, I didn't do my homework with the Kickstarter. I apologize. I did the homework with everything else, but not the Kickstarter.
Okay, well,
we're gonna let it pass.
I'll let it slide.
I had faith in Jerel to know it, but of course he had to come to me and ask.
Oh, okay, all right, here we go. But anyway, let's get back on track. This is the Kickstarter that was funded in what was it? How long did it take to get funded?
It was funded in 48 minutes.
48 minutes. 48
minutes. I was so surprised that quick was like boom. I was like, wow.
And this is another thing.
So great.
This is another important thing.
And I'm appreciated for anybody who backed.
Right, like
very
you met the goal, but you have 86 people here that believe in this project. I mean, it's one thing that maybe you have like a close circle of friends who maybe pity you and decide that they want to back you, and you get funded, but it's like 20 people or something like that. But you have 86 people here that
86
release
pity
there.
baggers.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Well, I'm just saying that shows. I mean, it's a small project that's just getting out there. So
Yeah.
to me, that's an
it's a
achievement.
New studio.
Yeah.
It's a new studio, and they've been promoting for a while. Like Greg has been promoting the studio, and he's got a very solid fan base. And they just popped out, and they will definitely want the book. So that's great for them. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah.
Will this ship internationally?
I'm not sure, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not running the Kickstarter side, so I'm not sure. That would be a good question for Greg to answer.
You know what? Never mind. I'll go back up. I'll go back it right now, anyways.
There we go.
Thank you.
You're gonna have 87 by the time this is over with. But I just wanted to show that there's several tiers here. There's Pops. So it's like, and he has Pops on his shirt. And so yeah. So I just wanted to give everybody, go to check out this Kickstarter. 25 days to go still. I'm trying to like scroll down to where there's another inside art here. Some bios of and then I wanted to get to where we have the contribution directly from Jim. And
it's there.
Keep on going. Oh, there it is. There it is, right here.
There's one.
Yeah. So here we got to see, and we already got. There's the pencil version, the ink version, and this phenomenally colored version as well. Mini posters. Just this character, this book. The art is if it doesn't intrigue you, you're dead. I don't know. You can't. You're just basically you have to have some sort of like curiosity, human curiosity to just to see this. I mean, really.
Manuel Soto is doing all the interiors for this book, and he is a very fast. He has I would say like a cartoony style, but he's very quick and he's very good. We were on a live stream when we were drawing images, and like he had like 3 drawings done before I had like laid down my pencil. Basically, he is phenomenally fast, and he's got a really quick style that just captures the moment. And he was really nice enough to send me a group, and he allowed me to ink his group that he drew that night. So that was kind of cool.
Okay, correct.
Yeah, really nice guy. Really nice.
Correction. I'll have to back it up tomorrow. My account said so. I have money for tomorrow. I'll back it up. I tried. I actually tried.
Honestly,
but my account said nope. Go fuck yourself.
My account
it actually said wait till tomorrow. It didn't say that. It just said, hey, just come back tomorrow.
You don't know how Danish accounts work. Okay.
I don't know. Danish bankers must have really.
It said nope. Go f yourself.
It's like a mobster group. What? You want to back a book, huh? Hey, you want to back a book? I don't think so, huh?
But anyway, I just want to say, hey, to our audience. Actually, did anybody do any fan art? Rick, can you check and see if anybody drew along with us? Hopefully, somebody.
I have not gotten any messages.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, we didn't get that, but that just meant we got to spend more time looking at Jim's art and Jim's contribution to this existing Kickstarter campaign that's still going on for 25 more days. So let's get this.
Guys.
Yeah,
we appreciate every backer.
Yeah, honestly. I think right. Here it is. Pop said 86 in 5 days. Been in the top 5 of Kicktrack since it launched, U.S. only. That's a record. I mean, that's something to be said about the backers, and the statistics speak for themselves in terms of how this is reaching out and resonating with the audience.
And I gotta say, this is only one book. Like they have Realm of Gods, which is another book that's kickstarting. It's doing really well as well.
Right.
There are other imprints that Greg has lined up, and this isn't going to be a group where it's a fly by night. Oh, they throw out a book and they're gone. We are all committed to like improving this studio, to putting out quality books, and to deliver on time. And every Kickstarter is going to kick up some short, but we're committed to doing that. It's a great group of guys to work with. Everybody's willing to help each other out at the drop of a notice. And I really want to see this studio succeed. Whether or not they kick me out for telling too much or whatever, I still want to see these guys succeed because their heart is in the right place.
Well, that's the thing about, I think an important thing about independent creators is that you have to not only have a good product, but in order to compete with the big boys, and the big boys have actually been kind of lacking on some of their scheduling. They sometimes their books are even late. But it's even more important for independent creators to have their stuff in the pipe as it's going along, because you want to have those fans follow you. And if you only have one book that comes out like every 6 months or a year, they're going to move on to the next thing. And if you can show that consistency and be able to put out that product that's one quality, but on time, it keeps the interest high, their appetites wet. They want to see the next iteration. They want to hear the next chapter in the story of Mojo. And I like how you're planning to do the Mojo origins, because it's kind of like we get to see where Mojo is now, but actually see where he was and the build up behind it. So
and Raj and I were talking about this. Like, he sees Mojo, and I agree with him. He sees this character as being something where somebody could take this character and go, okay, I'd like to do this story with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's an all-around character.
A different twist and a whole different story from them.
Send him to space.
Yeah. Like Mojo was like, what would he look like if he were like way in the future and he was like robotic? Like, there's just so much you can do with the character. And
send him into the Star Wars universe. Let him become a Jedi.
It's a trap.
Why not? It's a trap.
Yeah,
why not?
Mojo.
He's like, the group, like I said, they also have a variety of different types of stories that they're working on. So, Blood of Gods is kind of more of the, if you like, Game of Thrones meets X-Men kind of idea. And, Mojo is like the magic idea. And he has an Alien Skies book that he did with Roman Morales, which he'll be releasing out as well. And that's like kind of like the alien kind of story. So they've got a lot of stuff in the works. They're not overtaxing. He's planning out everything well in advance, giving people time to get the books done and get them out there. And I just want to see them be successful for all the hard work that they're putting into it.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, Raj the man right there.
Yeah, I wanted to sort of showcase the bios that are here, and so that people can know who the talent is.
Manuel is the artist on this book. Fantastic, quick artist, very cartoony style. I love it because I can't do it.
And then we have Edwin.
Edwin is doing the colors on it, so he's responsible for all the colors. Edwin, I also believe, does like beautiful tattoo work, as well.
Then we got Keith Braun.
Yep. I think Keith is doing. Is he doing the edits and the lettering? Yeah.
Right.
I haven't met. I've met Keith, but I don't know too much about Keith.
You guys just unlocked the 3500 threshold.
I saw. I saw that. Yep.
Awesome.
They unlocked another. Fantastic.
Let's
and you are number one on Kicktrack.
So this is we got 25 days to go, so plenty of time to get this to 10K. Let's get it to 10K, right? And then go beyond that. So I think that would be a phenomenal achievement. I mean, you basically made it's quite an achievement already where it's at. And
everybody's committed. What I like most, and I don't mean to. I'm sorry to cut you off, Jerel. But what I really like about the studio is like everybody is vested in putting back into the studio, making more quality books. Like nobody's like trying to be like, oh, I want to be top #1 dog, and I want to have like $1 million, $10 million in the bank, and it's all about doing comics and doing it because it's a passion for everybody. And I think it's great. I think that's, if anybody takes away anything from that, it's like there's a great group of guys really trying to do good work, and they should be rewarded for that. They really should.
That just goes to show when you got talented people with a passion, nothing is impossible, and we're seeing that with Mojo.
We'll hit roadblocks, I'm sure. We'll hit, but those are just challenges that you have to get over, or around, or under, or through. And we'll do that. But I want that Mojo piece you did, young man.
Okay, you see, I think you're just saying that, and then maybe you realize like I didn't really want it, Jerel. That was whatever. So,
no, you have a really. Why are you not doing a book?
Well, we all have future plans, and I like to think that like you said, things will come. We just want to put our best foot forward and see what happens. And I've actually been fortunate to meet a lot of cool people like you and like other. Well, I was talking to Jim, but yes, you too, Rick. But lots of talented people, and Rick included. I've never met a more talented kazoo player than Rick. He definitely the best. He is the best.
Rick,
but,
listen, there's like hosting shows and doing like this type of thing. I forget it. I'm hard. I have a YouTube page. I have like 65 followers, and they're probably people who are just like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy because whatever. So like to be out here and be up front like this, like hats off. I can't.
It's like the people take it for granted, but it's almost as much work as anything else to be able to stand out and be up in front of a camera.
Yeah. I really, I mean, joking aside, Rick has been a true friend to me, and he definitely has his addition to this team has been a blessing. So I really appreciate him, and I appreciate you, Jim. We broke a record here on Comics Cast Let It Out, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's like, I hope we got a lot of people that stuck around with us. But it was like the time really didn't it wasn't a factor. I had such a good time. We really
and
had...
I did come in an hour. I did come in an hour later as well, so I guess that helped as well.
Yes, exactly. So we're gonna wrap up the show real quick, but before we go to what we end the show with, Jim, I wanted to put the mic back in your hands. If there anything else you'd like to, you pretty much can do any shout out or anything else you'd like to do.
Well, I'm gonna just shout out you guys, Comcast first. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure.
You guys listening, please like, share, send this to your friends. Your grandma. I don't care who you send it to. Send it to somebody. Do these guys a solid. They're trying to help indie creators, get their books out there and noticed, and so hats off to you guys first for doing it. That's important.
Thank you.
That's like, otherwise I'm just a guy sitting in this room doing.
Extremely talented guy that's putting out some really good. Hey, but we
let the man speak, Jerel.
Yes. Okay. So
I want to encourage and thank everybody who has backed the Mojo Risen Kickstarter. I want to see these guys succeed, not because I'm doing the origin books, because they are truly a group of great guys, great talent that want to do good work. So if you can back, great. If you can just share, fantastic. If you can like, even better. Please do that for them. I appreciate that. 100%.
It's under $10, guys.
Huh?
It's under $10.
Yeah.
For the cheapest.
Yeah. Anything that anybody can do is very much appreciated. And guys like Pops Van Zant, who is out there like cheering us on and helping promote it, taking his time out of his personal life to do that. I appreciate that 1,000%. So I'm not going to say anything about myself. Follow the ticker's down below. Follow me, contact me, say hello. I love it. That's great. But at the end of the day, I want to give back to you guys. And,
he even have a let's chat area on his website, so you can spam. So you guys go ahead and spam him all you want. And if he doesn't respond,
I like funny comments, so the funnier the better.
Start tweeting him if he doesn't respond, how unprofessional he is,
where are the
and he'll start responding.
Okay.
No,
seriously aside, you get to see just what a great guy Jim is. Great art, great guy. Support the Kickstarter if you can, and big things are going to happen with Third Empire, with Jim O'Reilly, and thank you for the compliments for Comics Cast. It's nice to know that we can showcase. That's our mission. We want to showcase independent creative content, and it's been a pleasure. It's so easy to go nearly 3 hours to talk about somebody like you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but there's so much better talent out there, guys. Just just look around, man. There's so many gems out in there. Out in the indie world. Seriously.
Stop trying giving me compliments. It doesn't work, obviously.
Okay,
you tried, okay.
We tried.
I tried.
Well, we'll wait to have him on the next show, and maybe we can work on him accepting praise, because that's what it's about.
I think I'm glad I came when I did, because else it's been you two guys you're good. No, you're good. Oh, stop it. You're good. And it's been that way for an hour.
Yes, Rick,
that would have been the show.
Rick would be the show. That's right. But no, as we I will have our last comment for things from Pops Van Sant from Comics Related Madness Facebook group. Go check it out. Love you guys, brother. We love you too. You definitely are a somebody who definitely supports independent creators, and it's awesome to be associated with you, to call you friend and to be there for us. So as we end the show, we talk about our charity partner, and I'm going to test Rick. Rick, do you have our charity? You don't? Why not? I was hoping that you should know that drill by now, but
you've never given me the site, linked me the site. You always said you want to do it.
No,
it's your thing. It's your thing. So
it is. It is my honor and it is my pleasure. But I was hoping that I could get Rick on board with definitely. I'm sharing the love with our partner charity, which is Golden Fight. They're a phenomenal organization, from the heart organization. They're basically what I like to call small enough but big enough. Big enough in the sense that they have big hearts in terms of like what their mission is, and their mission is to help families that have children that are dealing with terminal or with severe illnesses like cancer. And often when that happens, families they have to like focus on healing their child or getting their child healed. And often they face financial difficulties. And that's where Golden Fight comes in. They are small enough in the sense that they're not a huge organization in the sense that they have like a nationwide exposure. It's pretty much a very focused approach in the Mid-Atlantic area. And that allows them to really just focus on the individuals in that geographical area. And by doing that, they have a really low overhead. So 97 to 98% of the money that they raise goes to those families. A very nominal amount goes to cover overhead. I think the leadership and a majority of their staff is volunteer. And that allows them to be small enough, but to deliver big, huge. And we are just so happy to be a part of or to be associated with them. And what we're going to be doing is in the next month, we're planning a big fundraiser for them in September. And keep your eyes peeled, your social media. I guess just look for what we're going to be doing with them. And I was just to give a little bit of a shout out to Jim. And I mean, you already know he's a good guy, but I just happened to mention Golden Fight to him too. And I didn't even have to go into too much further details with him. He said, "What can I do to help?" And that just goes to show what a stand-up guy Jim is. So look for our fundraiser with them in September. And by all means, if you check out the site, let me put up the banner here. If you go to this URL, you can check out more about Golden Fight. And if you feel so inclined, you don't have to wait for our fundraiser. You can go ahead and contribute to them. It will be money well spent, because you'll be helping families that deal with just very traumatic experiences getting their child healed. And we want them to get healed. So that being said, I want to say thank you again to my co-host. My co-host, Rick. Oops.
Yeah, just remove Jim.
I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button.
Bye, Jim.
I wanted to say thank you to Rick, and I wanted to thank Jim especially. Hit the wrong button when I wanted to like close that screen. You are a great guest, and we really we're in for a treat to see your art. So keep us posted. Keep us posted. We want to have you here on the show again. All right.
And Jerel will make sure to send you that a printed version of his Mojo. I'll keep bugging him until he does it.
Exactly.
I definitely want to see that Mojo piece in my email. So I will bug you.
Okay. Well, that will be my way of making sure that we're going to be in communication with each other. Okay. So.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, keep on drawing. Thank you for watching Comics Cast. Let it out, and another great episode. So we will see you next weekend.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right. You guys have a good Sunday.